Do you guys think that if you're unhappy, that's a good reason to leave a marriage? See?
I don't think you can be happy all the time. So it depends. How long have I been unhappy?
Right.
Because my kids are seeing that.
Right.
I think that matters too. Like
most things, I think
there's a lot of people.
It don't have anything to do with age, getting married too late. People don't have the intestinal fortitude for marriage. You get up there and say these vows. It's duty and responsibility, time and pain. It's the kids. It's the rearing. It's lineage and legacy. That's a joke in itself.
But is that not part of the kids? So your kids are a direct reflection of you. So if my kids are seeing me unhappy, now what?
What are you talking about?
Because you said happiness in the marriage, because you just said that kids are part of it, right?
Let me explain it to you. You're conflating your happiness with how the kids are treated, right? I'm not even talking about the kids. I'm talking about you being happy, right? I just said that about sex, so don't act like you can't do it about everything else. So now that we have a baseline with that, you can fake it till you make it in front of them kids all the time. Now, kids have discernment. I understand that, but happiness doesn't mean everything has to be egregious in the household. However, we know ebb and flow. Is that a thing, or are we dismissing postpartum?
Postpartum depression.
Do we have menopause?
Right.
And so you guys go through these ebb and flow periods where your happiness is intrinsically not working.
But that's why I agree.
But I'm just saying, but you put it on the kids. Like, no, answer my question directly based on happiness itself.
I did, but I said it depends on how long I've been unhappy. Raising my kids in a house where there's no happiness is not
selfish.
That's not life goals.
No, just for the sake to say I have a husband. Are you serious?
No, you made a commitment under the Most High God, right? Unless you don't believe.
Who cares about the commitment if I'm unhappy and I'm dying inside?
No, don't interrupt them, Melly. Sorry, Nikki, what you say?
I'm not staying unhappy for 10 months. You talking about 10 years?
Well, I've stayed unhappy for a very, very long time. But who is going to continuously stay in an unhealthy marriage where you're burning inside, you're dying inside, you done forgot who you are, you done forgot your self-worth, and you're just super unhappy, like depressed to that point, just to say I have a husband and I have a family?
But I think that we know how hoes are created. Callie said it earlier. Something about they ain't had their daddy, their daddy didn't love them. That's one. Secondly, most of these hoes been hurt by a man. Just like these niggas that been hurt by women, they become hoes. It's the same thing.
Savage.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Even with what Callie is saying, the lack of love, hopelessness, a deficit, desperation. That's all the same umbrella. I'm desperate for the love of a real man because a man never loved me. So I'm out there searching for the love of a man. But because I don't know how to properly find love from a man because I never experienced it. So now from these worst experiences that I've had and the damage that I've had from men, I'm telling you now, I'm only going to use them for what I like them for, because there's no possibility that they could ever even try to love me correctly. And I'm so lost on love, so in the deficit, I'll be desperate. And a lot of women have seen this. The girl come up here, Hamp. Remember the girl that came up here who was cosplaying a man? She was a whole butch, calling the women male-centered up here. You're trying to become them niggas. Talk about worship when you think you're fucking up a storm because you're a man and you're acting like a man. That's male worship down to the ground.
So the women who are promiscuous, are we saying they're all desperate?
Majority. I'm not saying that, but I know.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like in my point in my life, I feel like I was being groomed to cater to him.
So at 18, when did you guys break up or stop doing each other?
When I was 21, turning 22.
So you were for about 3 to 4 years. How did you upgrade him?
Oh shit. I think that I gave him a different perspective.
Well, you also feel like after you dated him, I upgraded you, and then all these women want you after what I did for you.
Bro, he was 18, bro. Like, you grilling him, bro. What the fuck?
No, it's hard to imagine an 18-year-old girl upgrading a 28-year-old man, but then you left curious, what could you have possibly really done to a man that age? Like, you don't have no money, you 18, you don't have much knowledge, you 18.
But what we're witnessing is cognitive dissonance. So there's no way you admonish the man by saying that you upgraded him and then in another breath say he groomed you. Mm-hmm. Those two things are diametrically opposed, right? And then you said age don't matter. People could be wise beyond their years. However, when Tamia gave you the bail money about you being 18, you're like, yeah, I was just 18. Nah, because remember you just said that you had the wisdom and understanding of somebody older than that, which is what you would be able to bestow on him. Right? Ooh. So these things are conflicting when we saying them. Did you actually upgrade him, or was you mad and talking shit to him because he cheated on? Are most of us cowards? Are most of us willing to kill and die for our wife and children? Are we willing to defend ourselves? Do we know what it looks like when shit is hitting the fan? Do we know when danger is actually upon us? How many dangerous situations have we been in to tell? Do we know who we are in these ways? I'm gonna just tell y'all this. If you are in a real life situation and a person approaches you after an aggressive conversation, get yourself in a position in which you can defend yourself properly. So don't stay in a position that doesn't give you any advantage but put you at a disadvantage. Don't ever do that. see people picking and choosing, you know? So if I'm going to approach you in an aggressive manner, then I should stay that way. Or else you look bad. That shit look corny. That shit don't look good for men. Because it's like, damn, is there a low-level threat of violence between men for real? But that's the word. We pump faking. We half stepping. That shit take away from our strength, our bravado, when we don't know how this shit's supposed to go. So this is a thing that I just been trying to process, man. Don't sleep on nobody. And be ready. Be ready as you can. The man says he got cheated on, and you tell him he's the reason why he got cheated on because she didn't feel like she was getting enough emotional support from him, and you justify him getting cheated on.
And like I said, that's unfortunate. But the person that he
got cheated on, you would have been like, "Girl, that nigga ain't shit."
No, first of all, you don't know me, so you don't know what I would have said. I would have asked, well, what happened? What did you do? What did he do? I was trying to get the full story. But to just go on this I hate women train, I'm not about to do that. Like I said, give us the full details. But to just act like everything was just shine the rainbow, sorry, Uno, but it's more to it.
Right.
So I just want you to realize real quick, she was emotionally deprived, and you think
then she entered a relationship with him.
Well, no, you can't add that speculation on. What we do know, based on what he shared, and somehow you're saying he emotionally deprived her. You think that correlates?
Because before she probably sexually had that experience with that man, she probably emotionally attached herself to him.
Why would you think that?
Because as y'all like to just say that women just go and just be loose and just have sex.
You do. Remember we had the conversation.
But the majority of women, they are going to emotionally, the majority of women going to emotionally attach themselves to a man.
How?
And then have the intercourse.
How do you know that?
Because I know. The same way y'all know. The same way that y'all know everything that y'all done talked about all
No, what I'm saying is, how do you know that, and how can you justify that based on women's behavior?
Because it's statistics. Somebody do the research.
If she has a dream about me cheating, am I at fault now?
You did that shit.
You did that shit, nigga. You did that shit in your past life, man.
Damn, boy. So he got hit with a honey bun and it's his fault. Okay.
That's like a boomerang.
I mean, I don't know his situation. How much would you say yes or no?
Well, she let another man put his penis in her vagina. He didn't ask her to do it. She just went and did it because or whatever.
So, I mean, I don't know how necessarily it's his fault unless he, maybe he's seen the signs and just chose to ignore them. But other than that, like, I'm pretty sure you left after you found out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he did the right thing.
Stepping away from it. So, is that an assurance for a partner? Is that an option as well? Like,
fellas,
like open book?
I got you. Real quick. Hey, fellas, if you dealing with a woman and she call you a partner, get up out of there. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Let me log in that joint whenever I feel like it. Yeah, I think that will work for sure. Yo, that accountability helps people too. If you know somebody else is looking at this shit, like how you reply, what you reply to, the bullshit, right? So like, for instance, this might be risky. Callie and I can see it, and my wife can see it. Now, I don't even really look at it that much because I know that they be looking at it. But also, bullshit get flushed. You know what I'm saying? It like take a weight off you, Right? Because temptation killed the cat. Pun intended.
I don't even have a lock on my phone. You can pick up my phone at any moment and go in there and look and see text messages and all of that shit.
Don't get a password. You say delete it. It's gonna be deleted. You mentioned that one of the problems was that you have so much access on social media. Like some people can message you, DM, your DMs popping. Him looking at it, is that going to satisfy him that it's confirmed now, or is he just trying to confirm whether or not you're responding back and cheating?
The con to that is that he gonna read all that shit the wrong way for sure.
Every time,
as he should. It ain't never all good.
I was just gonna say something to the effect of, in terms of social media, although primarily I do it for content creation. If my man had an issue with it, I was at it, no questions asked, because I've actually been there, done that.
It calls for strokes. Like somebody will punch you in your shit for talking too much and talking crazy.
It say that in the Bible? No, it doesn't say that in the Bible. That also equates to.
I knew it. A fool lips enter into contention and his mouth calleth for strokes. Proverbs 18:6.
Okay.
Because I read this shit. I'm just saying
I
about.
did too, 5,000 times.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, well, you didn't know that was in there, right?
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out.
So.
Yeah. Vodka. Some vodka. Some vodka, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing, jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, bro, I love you. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Yeah. Some vodka. Some vodka. Some vodka, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing, jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, bro, I love you. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show.
In a place with young freak, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right up on the shit. In a place with young freak, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right up on the shit. In a place with young freak, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right up on the shit. Still watching you say I'm shit mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the cup out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling, when I'm traveling, get that when I'm traveling, 6-pack run when I'm traveling, 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 get that when I'm traveling, 6-pack run when I'm traveling. In a place with young freak, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right up on the shit. In a place with young freak, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right up on the shit. In a place with young freak, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right up on the shit. Still watching you say I'm shit mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the cup out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. DJ Hamp Stamp PV in the building.
Yeah, I did that.
Yo, salute. We got 80 people in the building. Let's make sure we hit the like button if you can. That helps the channel the most. Hold on 1 second, man. I gotta do one thing. When they get give me a second, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Some vodka. Some vodka. Some vodka, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ Hamp about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing, jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world This might be risky. I hope you know. This might be risky. Let's go, let's go. This might be risky. No, I love you, bro, I love. This might be risky. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ Hamp, it's time to start the show.
Let's get it, man.
It's just Stampede. DJ Hamp, the Stampede. DJ Hamp, the Stampede.
Yo, let's get it, man. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Salute everybody in the building so far. We got 100 people in the building. Let's please make sure we hit the like button. We only got 41 likes. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Check, check, check. Let me see. Check, check, check. All right, hold on.
I have a job. I have good work ethic. No, I think Jeremiah kind of explained it.
Yo, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me.
Yeah, let's go, y'all.
All right, let's see. Check, 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 check. Let me see. All right. Let me see. Why isn't that one connecting?
Camp is live, but I want to tell you niggas something I had on my mind, because you know I don't go out without checking you motherfuckers. It's hilarious, yo. Like, yeah, your Hamp ain't here. You notice a little change in the adjustment in my motherfucking voice?
Check, check, check. Let me
I
see.
really feel, because we was acting like dogs.
Hold on. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Let me see something. All right, let me see.
The shit seeking a place with young freak, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. The shit seeking a place with young freak, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. The shit seeking a place with young freak, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling.
Yo, check, 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 check.
When I'm traveling.
It's just Stampede. DJ Hamp, the Stampede. DJ Hamp, the Stampede.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. DJ Hamp the Stampede, we in the building. Let's get it, let's get it. Salute, salute. Put a 1 in the chat for confirmation if you can hear me. We got 120 people in the building. We only got 56 likes. And we got 1 dislike. It's all good, man. Just please hit the like button. That helps the channel the most, man. Let's see if we can hit our Friday goals. And let's get it popping, man. Salute to everybody in the building so far. We had a hell of a morning, man. A couple of my guys made some mistakes that we had to go fix this morning, so we had to push the stream back just a little bit. It's all good. I also got to get on a plane, but I think this should be an interesting and dope conversation if we can understand what I'm trying to assess, man. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Salute to the grind. Salute to everybody. It's the first of the month. You know what I'm saying? I know how it can be. You heard? Damn, man. All right, so let's get it. I'm feeling good. Look, everybody straight. Make sure y'all go ahead, man. Pinhead 67. Subscribe, follow them on Instagram. They furnished all these hats for me. So if you F with the hats that you saw this week, please go ahead and follow them and get your own and all that. They also do bulk and wholesale as well. So salute the Pinheads, man. Pinhead67 on Instagram, man. Salute.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that.
Well, take a look at this, man. I was thinking about this, and it stemmed from the conversation that we've been having regarding like the black manosphere. There was also another thing that reared its head. It's BWE. I heard Tiff say it a bunch of times as well. Tiff said BWE a few different times. She mentioned that it was something where she came from. I guess a space that she came from, you know? And so it got me to thinking, and this notion popped in my head. Now, I think I kind of paraphrased the old cliche, but it's like you live long enough to become a villain or something to that effect, right? It's almost like you talk or speak long enough to become a villain, to become desired, to become the enemy, to become the ops, right? Eventually, you'll say something that maybe isn't what you said a year ago, and it'll be positioned in a way in which it was negative, you know, against you in some sort of way. Or you've said too much, or your stance has changed to the point where people will demonize it or you. And it's almost like it's a matter of time, essentially. And when I'm looking at a few different things, I'm like, damn, I thought this was positive in its infancy, or, you know, in its you know, when it was first, I forget the word I'm looking for, but when it was first thought of or came about, right? In its inception. But then as things seemingly mature or more people get a hold of it or get to assess it, they get to put their own parameters around it based on how whatever it is you're trying to achieve makes them feel. And then by proxy, it gets villainized. So I'm just walking through a few different things. There's one thing that's been on social media profusely this past week, and I actually covered it in a short on Instagram, but we're going to go through it a little bit more because I think people really need context to what it is they're seeing and why people don't care. So hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Let's start here. Make sure you guys hit the like, please share and subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Now, you guys will be familiar with this, and I may need some assistance. Does anybody know who this is right here? Salute to everybody in the building, man. I apologize. I didn't get to say hi, everybody. We're a little bit thin on time today, you know. But does anybody know who this is? This is Raymond Washington, right? This is Raymond Washington. He is credited with starting the Crips. And what does Crip stand for? What's up, Tiff? Make sure you get y'all tickets to this risky weekend, please. What did Crip initially stand for? Community Revolution in Progress. I think the R gets changed up every so often. You know? But what it was said was the Crips was started by Raymond Washington to protect the community from inside negativity and outside forces up to and including the law, right? You know? And so I looked at, I said, okay, it was positive, essentially, in its inception. But then as people get a hold of things, or they don't like what you're doing, they don't like your goals, Jay Miller, salute. They can put you on different lists. They can make you a person of interest. They can perverse your goal and your message. And if they have the most influence and power, what happens? Right? What happens? What was good is now evil. You know, the perversion rules the day because it's more provocative. They can say a thing, frame it as they please. People don't take the time and do the due diligence to go and see what was actually said or what the actual goal was. They instead adopt the ideology of the person that was trying to frame what you do as negative anyway. Right? Because it's provocative. It gets the people going. right? But what if you ask to add Raymond though? Then you add people into your stew that are supposed to help you and assist you, and instead they become insidious. And now their goal, their message, their agenda is at the forefront. Because if it bleeds, it leads, right? Let me help this play.
Now become one of the largest street gangs in the world. Raymond Washington was just 16 years old when he created what has now become one of the largest street gangs in the world. As the founder of the Crips, he planned to create multiple South Central Los Angeles, Watts, and Compton Crip gangs that would be united, protecting their neighborhoods from outside threats. But things would not go as he had planned, and the Crip gangs that Raymond Washington originally started eventually took on a life of their own. Raymond Washington was born on August 14, 1950.
Did you hear what she said? The narrator said it didn't go as he had planned, right? You have so many different influences into it, right? His goal wasn't shared, you know, it was supposed to be there to protect the community. But if everybody who allegedly aligns with you is literally trying to build their premise and agenda on your foundation, what happens, right? And you just need a few people. You just need a few people who want to be in that goal. And then they start whispering, talking behind your back, right? Going against your will, right? They use opportunity to make you look bad. Exactly. Co-opted. Thank you, Vet Life. Right? They use the opportunity to make you look bad. When they see you shining, when they see people showing you love, they suck in their teeth. You know? Fuck his goals. Oh, that nigga did it. Right? Anything. And if they're in a room with just a few people who haven't even an inkling of interest in that, right? They can start their insidious agenda. Right? They can start that. Right? And it starts here. You know? Let me let it play. Just because I want to make sure y'all have context. Y'all understand the Crip thing, but I think it was important to start here so y'all can understand the lane we trying to travel.
53 in Los Angeles, California. He spent most of his life on the east side, growing up with four brothers on 76th Street between Wadsworth and Central Ave. Growing up during the 50s and 60s, he was exposed to many of the issues taking place during that time, including racism, segregation, and the Watts riots, which took place less than a mile from his home. This is also the time of the Black Panthers, an organization formed to bring peace to troubled neighborhoods.
Could you say the same thing happened to the Black Panthers? And obviously, these men aren't perfect, right? But the fact that they aren't perfect, just like mostly everybody, it gets leveraged against them. Look at him. He think he the shit. He think he this. He think, oh, he don't do it. Right? That's all they need. You know, there was something said on Paid in Full by Ace at that particular time. He said, everybody want to be the man just cause. The problem with that is
the Panthers,
they have to rain on your parade, right? They have to shit on you to become that, right? Remember, Julius Caesar was stabbed in his back by Brutus, his right-hand man.
Promoted unity and community independence in South Central LA and set up free breakfast programs for kids like Raymond Washington, who was 12 years old at the time. All these influences surrounding Washington at such a young age forced him to grow up fast. He developed a strong personality and started to become known in his neighborhood as a natural and commanding leader. In his teen years, he would often get into fist fights at school. These fights would eventually lead to him being kicked out of many LA area high schools and being sent to a juvenile detention center. Soon, Washington was known on the streets as one of the best fighters on the east side. He rarely drank and didn't do drugs. Instead, he worked out constantly, powerlifting, weightlifting, and boxing every day for hours, quickly developing a reputation as someone who was not to be messed with. The first gang Raymond Washington affiliated himself with was the East Side Avenues. However, Washington was much younger than most members of the Avenues gang, and this came to cause problems. An altercation between Washington...
Think about that, right? They're saying Raymond Washington helped start the Crips. He was a workout fanatic. He was a boxing fanatic. Barely drank. Didn't do any drugs. Think about the fact that a lot of that is not known, not adopted. Instead, I would argue it is a diametrically opposed to what he at least did with his own time. It's just so interesting, man.
And the Avenue's founder led to a split, and in 1969, at the age of 16, Washington left to start his own gang. The origin of the name Crips has been debated over the years, with some of the original members saying Raymond first called them the Baby Avenue Cribs, C-R-I-B-S, due to their young age, which then later evolved into the name Crips. Yet others who were there at the beginning say the name Crips came from the nickname Crip, which was given to Washington's older brother because he was bow-legged. Either way, by the time word got out to surrounding areas about Washington's newly formed teenage gang, they were known as the Crips. Washington used military-like tactics to organize the Crips. He held meetings at local parks, set up safe houses in case of attacks, and brought together leaders of neighboring gangs to form unions. He also set a dress code: khakis, suspenders, ace deuce derby hat, leather jacket, earring in the left ear, black glove on the left hand, and a bandana on the left side. As the Crips expanded, Washington would sometimes use a strong arm approach to gang new members, but he was not quick to use guns or knives and would only fight when necessary. In fact, in the beginning, the Crips were not about violence or criminal activity. Washington had organized the gang taking from the idea of the Panthers to promote strength in the community and protect the neighborhood from crime and outside threats.
Would you know any of this? Based on what you saw today, based on the movements being co-opted, right? Based on perversion ruling the day as it always does because it's more provocative. People are more interested in salacious and bullshit things, right? He developed a thing. People get involved. People have agendas. You live long enough, you exist long enough to become the villain, man. It's disheartening when you think about it. What you think about this example of the point that I'm trying to convey? Right? You live long enough, you exist long enough, enough people get involved, just enough time for you to become the villain, man. I dropped this link to this documentary. It's not that long. It's about 15 minutes, but I think it does a pretty good job of trying to convey, kind of the origin to what it is now. But you exist long enough to become the villain. We had a conversation just a couple weeks ago regarding the West Coast. You guys remember that? Where it was alleged that the West Coast is the most underachieving group of black people in the country. Right? But then look at the intentions of the Crips and look what it is now. Look what the propaganda is now. Look what the stereotype is now. They said the West Coast with all that sun and palm trees gave us gang culture. It's just interesting, right? It was initially one thing. Now it is definitely not the origin story, right? And I'll give you guys the link to watch the rest of the video. But when people have an agenda that are both inside and outside, it's easy, right, for you to become the villain. The Panthers, the government, said, nah, too much. And we had a whole conversation about the Panthers. Let's put you on a watch list. Let's make you public enemy number one. Let's make sure we control the media and the narrative to other parts of the country that don't get to shake your hands. You exist long enough, you get the wrong attention from the right people for a long enough time, eventually you become the villain, man. Is it rooted in people perverting your message, though? Is it rooted in people just not liking your message, though? Right? Do they ignore the good parts and latch on to the part they dislike the most and therefore frame you as such? That's number one, man. Salute. TN being in the building. Salute. Damn, what's wrong with this mouse? Salute, my G. Thank you for the $2 for the coffee. Appreciate you, bro. It's been a long ass morning. But I appreciate it wholeheartedly, man. So let me show you guys this, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I don't know if everybody quite understands, because boxing, 2K had made this point, and maybe I need to concede it, is that boxing isn't promoted well enough to the masses, right? Even though the guys get paid a lot and the pay-per-views are a lot, I don't know if everybody exactly knows what they're looking at, especially the young people, especially on these streams. Have you guys been seeing what has happened with Adrian Broner? I don't know if people actually know the prowess that this man had, right? Now, this part, B. Scott, salute, is what happens to where you exist and talk long enough that you become the villain and you did it to yourself. At what point do you become the villain? Because you do it to yourself. Because you talked long enough and talked too much. Now people see you as such. Let me just show you guys this highlight tape. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe. 2K, what up?
Combination punches on the inside. Both to him, he realized that his hands are too quick.
Look at this right here. Now, maybe you can't see it, right? But he's inside on this combination, right? The punch selection and precision is great. It is highly above average. You heard? Highly above average. And then when the gentleman returns fire, none of it lands. Because AB rolls the first punch, blocks the second punch. This is science that you're looking at. Boom, 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 boom. Everything landed. Everything he threw landed. 4. And the guy didn't land any.
Combination punches on the inside.
Got uppercut, right? Pulled, and then landed the 3 again. You know how fast your hands got to be for that? To land the 3 after you pull back? Usually you get a 1 or a 2 because it's quicker, right? But he know what he going to do before he does it, right? It's beyond the talent. He's smart as fuck, too, while he's boxing.
When he realized that his hands are too quick, don't stay away from him. Get close to him and get
room before the fight. When he was brought the pink gloves, he's in the pink, but not this.
He's one you definitely can't count out until the last bell rings. That's
Marco swinging away with the straight left hand.
Yo, I'm telling you. Yo, when they were giving real comparisons to Mayweather, yo, I thought it was really real. They say that a lot of people, you know? But I'm telling you, the Philly shell with the shoulder roll, everyone to throw punches out of the Philly shell. I'm sorry, power punches out of Philly shell is not as common as you might think, right? Because your power hand is far away because you only giving them a quarter of your body, you know, because you can't punch people in the back, you know? But him to unleash that hook that quickly and so seamlessly, and now he's on his front foot now inside, and now he's more squared up. A lot of people don't have that ability to switch from stance to stance so seamlessly. That's what makes Floyd so great too, right? I know y'all don't really care about this part as much. I just want to make sure to emphasize the greatness of the man you seeing, and then we're gonna watch the downfall.
Glancing blow. Broner's land.
And let him throw those pop shots.
Well, it looks almost like he's trying to tire Broner out by taking punches. Marco's been knocked down in his career.
Now, you talk long enough to become a villain, okay? I just wanted y'all to see one more. I want to see how good this guy is.
It turns a lot of people off.
Now, this, right? Quick. Right? This is quick, right? And I don't know. I just want to make sure y'all see it. He's going to take his left hand, right? And he's going to pull away the guy he's fighting, his guard. So the guy's hands are like this, let's say. He grabs this hand and then throws a punch over the top. You do see it with a decent amount of boxers, but it is a fluid. It's more fluid with Broner here. You might miss it.
It turns a lot of people off, but when he there's that counter. Even while he's
now, pay attention. Pay attention. This is what you start to see. the things where you talk long enough, you exist long enough, you act a certain way long enough to become the villain. This is fucking beautiful. This is textbook. Textbook. You could do this shit with your eyes closed, right?
But when he...
You couldn't do it. He could do it with his eyes closed, right? Him slipping that and throwing that uppercut that precise and sharp, right? It's beautiful. Most people can't duplicate that shit, right? But then he lands his uppercut.
It turns a lot of people off.
Watch.
When he... there's that counter.
He lands an uppercut and exits. But when you land that hard of an uppercut, I'm following up. I'm throwing something else behind it. But he knew it was a great shot, right? He rolls it and he exits out and now he's celebrating.
Even while he took the walk.
Right? Turned his back, walking away, knowing he did something great. See, that's where you start to see. This is the villain arc.
Stop and throw the cut again.
Winding up with the right uppercut, lands the jab, Groner, the pace, the crowd, just right hand.
Right? So good at boxing, okay? All right, so I just want y'all to see. That, okay? Now, here's the part. You talk long enough, you become a villain, right?
Regrets about anything that went on in the pre-fights and all the news conferences?
Negative. I'm good. I beat Polly. I left with his belt and his girl.
Adrian, congratulations on winning the title. Polly, come on in.
Pussy, dog. Don't talk. Hey, I'm just saying, you lost.
I know I lost. But don't.
Hold on, wait.
Don't brag about taking my side piece. Don't brag about taking my side piece, though. That's my side piece. You don't get laid.
All right.
Hold on, Max. Hey, Dad. Brush my hair one time. Hey, Pops. Come brush my hair.
He has his gloves on, so he can't do it himself. Is that right?
All right. Okay. I gotta do this. Come here. On national TV, in front of the whole world. Stop that. Stop. I need quiet for this. I need everybody to be quiet. Arian, Nicole Gazaway, can you brush my hair? I'm too early. I'm too young for marriage.
Definitely. I do feel that I have an advantage. I am the taller fighter. I am the stronger fighter. The more experienced fighter. And not only that, but the full-grown welterweight. I feel very comfortable leading into this fight. Ready for victory.
What's your response to that? I don't want to hear none of that shit. When you stepped up and you fought Timothy Bradley, you lost. When you stepped up and you fought Pacquiao, you lost. So shut that shit up, bitch ass nigga. So what I'm saying is this. I hope y'all give me credit. I hope y'all don't just throw it on the rug, because I'm going to beat his ass. I hope y'all just give me the credit that I deserve. That's all I want. And I know all y'all against me. Him right here, Leonard Elby against me. They with this bitch ass nigga. Leonard a bitch ass nigga too. You don't disrespect me like that. Man, shut up. You ain't with me.
I'm with
Jesse.
I'm with Mayweather Promotions.
You ain't with me.
And this,
I'm real.
And this isn't about me. You guys got to fight.
Yeah, all right.
Saturday
Shut
night.
that soft ass shit up.
And the best man.
That's some soft ass shit. Shut that soft ass shit up. All that soft talking. I know you can do it, man. You got the. Let's shut that soft ass shit up. Man. You ain't with me. How about this? I'm gonna be victorious. What's the future? I know they all against me. This is what they want. They want AB. They want AB to go out. They don't want me to be.
Yo. That's the thing, right? People don't be understanding the thing that they signing up for. People have to make fights, right? I think that is one of the downfalls of boxing. You have to make fights. It has to make sense. There's a fight coming up that if you guys could tune into, I think it's June 27th, as a matter of fact. Maybe we might show it after we have our fights. But it's Xander Zayas versus Boots Enos, right? And Boots, they say he's like a weight bully. So he's like fighting in divisions that he's probably too heavy for, and he has to cut 20, 30 pounds to get there, right? And Xander is only 23, but he's a champion. I think he's an IBF champion, I think, if I'm not mistaken. WA, I think he has 2 belts. And generally speaking, Xander is young. You don't make him fight Boots this early in his career because it is a hell of a fight. It's a tough fight for him, right? Usually you build your fighter up to then get the bigger purse, right? So you have to make fights, you know? And so I think Broner understands this, right? But he will be in his own way, saying shit like this in the way in which he said it, right? So Xander Sayas versus Boots Enos is not a fight you see this early in a young fighter's career because it's dangerous. Because taking that first L, a lot of people cannot bounce back, you know. And then if he gets destroyed, I'm telling you, you'll never get the same money again. You feel me? So even in this clip, like you could see, like he trying to call Linder Ellaby out. You dealing with these promotion companies, you know what it is, right? But you shit on yourself. You shoot yourself in the foot because now who else want to take you on? Boxing has a nuclear system. How you say? An ecosystem, right? It has an ecosystem. So you have guys who know that they are tune-up fights. You have guys that know that they are there to get the prospects ready. You see? You got guys that know that they are testers, and you got guys that are at the top who are fighting for the top 4 or 5 positions, right? And everybody eats in this way, and the promoters are a part of it, right? And that's not going to change, you know? So shalom, everybody in the building. The younger guys eat. The guys who are tune-ups, they eat off that, though. They feed their families off that. You feel me? They know that they ain't gonna never beat a man. But there's a guy that got like 300 losses or some shit. But it also works differently. You could do your own promotions. And if you can't pay the money, they give you an L too. So there's a lot that goes into it. But there's an ecosystem when it comes to boxing. I'm just showing you talk long enough to become the villain. Right? Because you're going to ostracize yourself from more than just Leonard Ellaby. Top Rank ain't going to touch you either.
They don't want me to be in nice cars. They don't want me to be in Rolexes. They don't want me to be in APs. They don't want me to be in private jets.
And now he's making himself a victim.
They want me to lose this fight, go up under the rug, and never be talked about again. They don't want me to see the top of my pinnacle. But guess what, man? I train my ass off. I'm not losing to no Jesse Vargas, man. Y'all got me fucked up.
But at the end of the day, I'm still Adrian the Problem Brunner. The can man. Anybody can get it. Africans, I just beat the fuck out of a Mexican.
Oh no.
I controlled the fight. He was missing. I hit him clean more times. I beat him.
You averaged 8 punches. Less than 8 punches was the most punches that you had in the round, and it seemed as though you couldn't get
it
close
like,
enough.
It already sounded like you was against me. So I already ain't got a fair shake talking to you. But let me talk something. Let me let y'all know. I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy. Y'all know I beat that boy. What they trying to do is they trying to get that money again with Pacquiao and Floyd. But it's cool. I ain't worrying about it. I'm still that nigga, man. I'm on top. Cincinnati, stand up. West Side, 2-5.
You're 3-3-1 in your last 7 fights. What will you do next?
Hey, I'm 3-3-1 my last 7, but I'll be 7-0 against you.
Well, that wouldn't mean much. That's the end of this interview. Good luck to you in the future.
50 punches in the fight. You only threw 200 and something punches. We talked about that you don't let your hands go. You didn't in this fight. You landed 1 punch in the 12th round. I wonder if you really believe in your heart you actually won the fight.
Yeah, hell yeah, I believe I won the fight. Shit, that's just like when you believe that you want cheese on that burger. You know what you looking for. Hell yeah, I feel like I won, Dad. Come on now.
Right? Now, you see him, right? You listen to him talk, right? It's witty, it's funny, right? And everything is always going to be a joke. When are people ever going to give a fuck about you? When are people ever going to take you seriously or care about what you're going through, right? Because the things that you said, the people that you were willing to disrespect has residual and lasting effects, right? You talk long enough to become a villain. Fighters talking about they won, especially when you're talking about Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, I beat that boy. I'm telling you, that reverberates differently than what you think. It's not hitting how you think it is, right? And oftentimes people give credit to the person they lose to. There's a level of love that and respect that happens amongst two fighters in pugilism. Right? And when you don't show that, you hurting the ecosystem. You showing a lack of respect for people who are literally risking their lives out there. These are 10 and 8 ounce gloves. There's a decent amount of padding, right? But that shit hurts, I promise you. Right? So I'm telling you, it's here, you know? So I just want y'all to see what it is. You talk long enough, a certain way you act to become a villain. Now, this one I can see somebody did it to themselves is what my argument would be based on what we just watched. Right? And there's several boxers that have talked, you know, but there was an air about him. He ostracized himself, and then he disrespected the people that helped him come up too. Right? There's a lot of burned bridges here. And so now you fast forward to today. Did I show y'all that clip where he was flushing money down the toilet? Did I show y'all that clip where he was flushing money down the toilet, counting money, throwing money at Walmart, all types of shit, right?
Want me to let him know?
Or you can get it back. I'll make sure you get it back.
So he's asking for money, right? This is today. This is last week or something. He asking for money now. You see he fat, out of shape. He asking for money. You know you'll get it back, right? The chain that he has on, the streamer that gave it to him, put it on him just maybe a day or so before what you're seeing now. That's not even his chain. He been rolling with Dina Great, right? Dina Great is a boxer. He boxes on the one that Andrew Tate lost on. I forget what it's called. Misfits, you know? He came up on YouTube boxing and stuff, so now he's a kick streamer. He got slapped a couple times. Y'all may have seen him. So him and Adrian Broner did a stream. I covered it. He been walking around drunk. He can't intimidate anybody anymore. Nobody cares. They don't know who he is. The girls that they around, they 18, 19. He hasn't fought since 2020, I think. He hasn't been a champ since 2018. He drunk out of his mind. He's incoherent, right? And this is him today. The guy you saw talking and things of that nature, this is him today.
Want me to let him know?
Or you can get it back. I'll make sure you get it back.
Let me do this, right? Let me just try to find the other video real quick, because I want to make sure that y'all can kind of see it more in its totality about his downfall. Maybe I'll just click on these videos. Right? Hold on.
That's what they was talking about. All side. You literally inspired me to.
Look at him here, right? May I just scroll through these so y'all can see kind of the stream that I'm referencing.
The box would change my life. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't technically somewhat kind of because you Glaze.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You sucking right now. I ain't gonna lie, girl. I ain't gonna lie.
All side. You would literally inspire me to box, which changed my life. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't technically some.
I'ma punch the cameraman, nigga.
Alright, huh?
For real, bro.
Hey, don't threaten my cameraman, nigga.
Nah, fuck him, bro.
Nigga, fuck you, nigga.
No, next time out,
bro.
He accepts some shit.
What's up with you, gang?
Hold on.
Why you
don't
scaring the
ever
bitches, though?
Don't ever grab me
Why
like
you
that.
scaring the bitches, though, my nigga?
I'ma punch the cameraman, nigga.
Alright.
You know I'm broke, right?
You ain't broke, nigga. Rich in spirit, though.
All right. Yeah. You give me 1,000, I'll cut my beard.
A band? You cut your beard?
Give me a band, I'll cut my beard.
You want me to let him know?
You can get it back. I'm gonna make sure you get it back. Yeah, Uber.
Uber? I came with Uber, yeah.
You get Uber?
Do I have Uber? No.
Hey, start recording, man.
I got you.
You ain't a fool of that nigga.
Nah, never.
You know I'm broke, right?
Adrian Broner has officially hit rock bottom, and it's really heartbreaking to see someone who had a lot of potential now asking for money or financial assistance just so that he can afford and secure an Uber ride. Adrian Broner, who literally used to tear money and flush them down the toilet just to prove and keep up with the whole About Billions persona, has been recently appearing in live streams, and to be honest, his current condition just keeps getting worse the more you see him. Now, Broner has been quite open about his financial struggles for the past year, however, nobody knew the extent of how bad his situation is up until now. Recently, Ryan Garcia offered to help, saying, quote, "Broner, if you see this, call me. Let's get you situated, no need to keep drinking." Adrian Broner, who was once under Floyd Mayweather's guidance, was a 4-division world champion. Adrian Broner has a...
Talk long enough to become a villain, man. I'm trying to tell you, bro. That shit ain't free, B. You know? And so I think that's more of a case of someone doing it to themselves, man. 2K was popping. With the 50 ball. Hit that like button. Shout out to the chat. You see that, right? I think that's an example of somebody who did it to themselves. You talk long enough to become a villain, right? Your fighting no longer could keep up with the checks that your mouth was writing. And you saw what happened. So what I showed you was the Crips, and then we got Adrian Broner, right? Two, I think, starkly different. They're contrasting, right? Someone who put themselves in the trick bag, and then someone who had a message, you know, who had a goal that was seemingly positive and upright. But other people don't like it. Other people get into the agenda. Other people get included. And now the perversion sets in and ensues. And now the perversion rules the day, not the original message. I've been hearing this thing called BWE. And so I looked it up. Right? And to be fair, I didn't look it up. I used ChatGPT to curate all the information for me pretty quickly. You know, so this one kind of interests me as we talk to the conversation about the manosphere and such, right? I was looking at this and I asked it, like, kind of, what is it seeing on Google, you know, or YouTube? Like, what is it all about? You know? So I'm going to scroll to the top. So I think I put... So I asked, what's the sentiment about, right? And I asked particularly on YouTube because it's the largest search engine, right? On YouTube, Black women empowerment content is very polarized. It's not one clear positive or negative sentiment. It splits into 3 main lanes, and the tension between them is what drives views. The side is strong, organized, and growing. So support pro BWE content. Self-improvement, leveling up, soft life, femininity, career talk, mental health, healing, boundaries, dating standards, Black girl magic type messaging, confidence, pride, and success. This aligns with broader movements celebrating Black women's resilience and success. So that doesn't sound negative, right? Positive, affirming, community driven. Comment sections often support and protective. Reality check. These creators are building real audiences, but they don't often go as viral as drama-based content. 2, critical, anti-BWE content, very visible on YouTube. So this is the most popular. This is where things get loud, and honestly, this side often outperforms in views. What it looks like. Critiques of modern women, masculinity versus femininity, overlap with manosphere or relationship debate content, claims that BWE promotes unrealistic standards, anti-men attitudes, lack of accountability. There's a known ecosystem of online spaces like the manosphere that often center criticism of Black women, specifically sometimes using harsh or dismissive rhetoric. Sentiment, highly critical, sometimes hostile, more debate, arguing, and viral clips. YouTube algorithms tend to reward conflict, so this content spreads fast. Now, let me ask you, what was the reason for BWE? Black women empowerment? On his face, pause. Is that a negative? It sounds like the things, especially since they mentioned community, right? Of the less salacious channels, the more positive channels about self-improvement, seemingly don't have the traction. You know, the things that are the loudest are the negative things. I'm asking, was this movement co-opted? When they edify me about the black manosphere, it's a very similar onset, right? It's about black men understanding their prowess, right? Having a particular level of pride, understanding what's important, how to self-improve, right? And this says more of the same, right? It breaks down just the different sections, right? And what's now most popular. So what happened with BWE? What happened with the manosphere? To where now people are saying this is MAGA. However, I think, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, it existed before MAGA was ever created. Before Trump ever said, make America great again. MAGA, absolutely, to the black populace, the overarching sentiment is that it's negative. Niggas don't fuck with it. And so now it says black manosphere, and it seems like it's either the men that are a part of it are negative or don't have good intentions, or they just a bunch of complainers and crybabies, and they're being compared to one of the most negative thing imposed as it pertains to most black people's outlook. BWE, it seemed like women communing together to improve themselves. And then, but now the most thing we hear is let's get rid of black male babies. Let's commune with the KKK to kill all black men. You speak long enough, you exist long enough, you talk long enough to become the villain. You let everybody in your space, right? So they can become insidious. They turn your back on you. And they might be more charismatic than you, more popular than you. And so now their messaging is the messaging. Fuck what you was talking about. Who care about that positive shit? I can't monetize that. That's what's being alleged. You exist long enough, you talk long enough to become the villain. Seems like things were created for a positive reason. But either that's not true, or the positive agenda was co-opted. And now we fast forward to black women empowerment, black manosphere, as both seemingly seen as overwhelmingly negative, especially by the other side. What's more true? How do we understand this? What's the baseline? People could spin anything, right? As long as they have the will to. And more importantly, the desire. There's so many hate campaigns on so many people, and they make the shit look good. They make the shit sound real and believable, and maybe it is. Maybe I'm layman. I don't know enough. Maybe I'm a novice, right? I'm ignorant to it. But when you look at the beginning and now you look at now, where these places and these communities created for a negative purpose, or if you try to do it long enough, eventually, what you said, how you said it, a thought you had that is maybe negative, the negativity gets highlighted to where you exist long enough to become a villain, man. I don't know.
Run It's a stampede!
DJ Hamp, the Stampede. DJ Hamp, the Stampede.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I'm going to drop the link. We're going to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? See what y'all think. I got limited time, but I really wanted to address this shit, man, for sure. Salute, salute, salute. 1 second. I got my Ace Boone Coon in the building already. You heard? 2K, what's popping?
What's the word, bro?
What's the word, man? You got a cape on?
Oh, yeah, man. Super villain, super op.
What you mean, man?
Gotta tell you the origin story, man. This could have been a monologue at my funeral right here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was what it looked like.
Yeah, man. Talking shit, man. What you think, man?
Bro, you hit it spot on. I think you kind of missed on the AB. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, to operate in this space, bro, it's a crazy space because I can tell you for a fact, AB don't got bad intentions, right? But somebody like AB, he got to where he is by being that, right? And every once in a while, you mix another concoction in there, which it'll be liquor for him, and then you can see the downfall, right? Because you got to stay on that straight and narrow. Because like one thing, if you're gonna be hated, you already know you can't get caught slipping.
Yeah.
So if you mix another substance in that, that's when you get AB turning out how AB is. And keep in mind when you the villain, you are self-motivated. You talk to yourself. All right. So when you can't talk to nobody, you go to the bottle. That's where the real downfall starts. You used to talking to yourself, but it's the bottle that what got AB fucked up, man. That's a nasty story. It's sad. No lie.
Okay. So, and that's the thing, right? I tend to agree with what you're saying, you know? And I'm just thinking like he has no grace from anybody because maybe to your point, he's always been the villain or fuck it, I had to get it out the mud on my own, right? And as soon as you lose, they say, uh-oh, right? You get too flashy, they say, uh-oh. And there's nobody here to bail you out. You flushing money down the toilet, who gonna give you money later?
See, they waited on the downfall. Like, he had been great so long. You know, like, I seen a couple people as a content creator that I know, that you know that I know. I seen this with Floyd, right? You can only win for so long. Being a villain isn't about anything that you do. It's about the people who you are doing it to. So it's usually less motivated people with no ambition, lazy, and probably not talented, with no work ethic. They who make you the villain. Because there's no way you can look at Kobe shoot 20,000 shots over the summer and wonder why he act how he act. We should be in admiration of Kobe, but no, Kobe too arrogant. Kobe too arrogant. Why he taking them shots? So the people make you the villain. You was never the villain. You was the person that was doing over and beyond.
Okay. I think I can understand that. And I think that actually goes to my initial one, what you're saying about like the Crips, about Raymond Washington, right?
Right.
You know, people don't like it. People see you shining. People try to see you being positive, right? And they feel away, right?
Yeah.
And then if they have leverage, if they have the media, they can perverse your message and now make you the bad guy. So I think that I acknowledge that. I think I was framing AB as just because I'm just looking at so many things that he just mishandled, you know? But I catch your drift for sure. That's probably my biggest point. Like, is the BWE negative? Is the black manosphere negative? Or is it we want to cite the negative so we can put a negative light on all of it? You see what I mean?
It ain't that it ain't that it's negative, it's that you loud. Like, that's the problem. You yelling. And you could be yelling the right thing, but you yelling. And that's the problem. It's the attention that is garnering. Like, when men start talking about against women, hey, take their mics. When women got the rights, you seen you seen the manosphere movement come up to negate what they were saying, because they yelling. It's not what they saying is wrong, is that they yelling it. And that's the problem. Like, hey, you pointing out our shit and you telling everybody else about it too. You yelling it.
Okay. Yeah, and so that seemingly goes towards my initial sentiment. Like, you talk long enough, right? Or you saying how you saying it. You know, I get to say you being mean. You the bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know anything about BWE? I don't know that much. I just heard Tiff say it, you know, and say she used to like frequent whatever that was. But black women empowerment doesn't seem on its face negative to me. But I've heard overwhelmingly negative things from it quite often.
It's not negative. Just like the manosphere not negative. It's just pose and view being talked about to the extreme, being talked about very loudly. It's not negative. Like, black women empowerment, what's negative about that? But once you say, hey, fuck these niggas and we ain't having no more male kids, okay, there we go. That's the problem. Okay. Once you start saying fuck these women and you know, this and that, there we go. That's the problem.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Damn. So,
and
what's my bad?
No, you good.
I want to ask you a question. What is your experience with things of this nature?
I'm
gonna go on mute for a second, 2K. I gotta get this call.
Okay. My experience is the weaponizing of my words. Okay, because I am a podcaster or a broadcaster, whatever you want to call it. I talk a lot. So when you talk a lot, your words can be twisted a lot. People gossip. They get to exposing your words. They can constantly escalate things based off of something that you said over here, and that's one problem. My biggest problem with is the ego-driven communication. Now, when I express how confident I am about something, people usually take that wrong. Like, hey, because you know I'm an atheist. I don't need God, man. I've been doing this all by myself. They say, 2K, how you wake up in the morning? My alarm clock. Oh, nigga, the first thing they'll tell you is, God gonna humble you. So it ain't what that I'm saying is wrong, is you just don't like that I'm saying it with the confidence that I'm saying it in. So ego-driven communication is one of my biggest downfalls when it comes to talking to people. Because I'm very like that. That's what got me to this point, right? I'm a nigga from Mississippi, can't read too well, can't spell too well, but I believe in myself. And when I get to expressing how I believe in myself, so many times over time, there be a resentment for people who play by these rules. So many times over time, there be a resentment for people. Yeah. So I'm often the villain, especially to like. That's why I always had like a grudge with the book read niggas, because they went by a textbook and they got from point A to point B. It was calculated, right? And by their metric, I should never be where I was. And because I speak so confidently about that, like, resentment starts to build. And it's not that it's wrong, it sounds ego-driven, but when you keep doing it over and over and over, then of course there's going to be a resentment for somebody who think that they did it the right way. You muted, Hamp.
Okay, I could see. It's like a. No, I could see that. I mean, I could see it.
See, like right now, in the comment, it's like 2K is very prideful. You can see his demise already. Like, because I'm confident, naturally people want to see you fail. Now I'm a villain because I just spoke with confidence. You see?
People, is it okay for people to turn your confidence into arrogance?
I don't think so, because the confidence is built off of work. Now, confidence built off of bullshit, that'll expose itself. But Hamp got the right to pop his shit on the podcast. You got how many hours? How many hours you do a week? Can't nobody take that away from you. You putting in that work. And somebody that's putting in 1 hour or 30 minutes or none at all shouldn't be able to even have a judgment on why you feel the way you feel. They just mad because they can't feel the way you feel. And now you a villain because of it.
And you saying, what percentage of your experience has that been with people who kind of
80. Now, I am human, right? So I do make mistakes. There has been times where I've got my own self in a pickle. I'm not going to do that, but the majority, it comes because the lack of what people refuse to do. And they mad because I'm doing it. But like more money, more problems. Like this morning, bro, paying my bills. Bro, this is a new thing to me. At 6 o'clock, they telling me I done hit the limit for the day, $10,000. And I still ain't done paying bills at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
See, they want the spot, but not that. But they want to be mad at me for popping it when I do pop it.
I'll catch your drift.
Run! It's a stampede! DJ Hamp the Stampede. DJ Hamp the Stampede.
Light Skin Nate in the building with the $2 says 2K. Take that blanket off. It's a broadcast. I think that's his cape.
Tupac.
Fellas, what's the word? Beans, salute. Cheek, what's popping? Prax in the building. Mount, what up? Devin, what's goody? Hope all is well. Good to see y'all brothers, man. Cheek was in the back. First, pause. Then Beans. Then Prax. And then we'll go around. Beans, what's popping?
What up, though, Good?
What's goody, man? How you?
Man, bro. I'm feeling real good. One of my teams made it. Now my other team just got to make it. I'll be all right.
That's what's up, man. Salute, man. So, what you think? I don't know if you saw the stream. Maybe you just heard 2K, but I just was breaking down a couple of different things from the Crips, the inception of the Crips, to what it was perversed into. Adrian Broner, what he was and what he is. And it's like you exist long enough, talk long enough, eventually you become a villain, you know. The Black Manosphere, based on what I heard in its inception, didn't seem negative. Black women empowerment didn't seem negative. But now, today, seemingly, it's mostly characterized with a negative light based on what I hear most often, you know. And the things that are salacious don't lead. You don't even know about those channels, essentially. And it's almost like damn, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think what it is that the longer you get to talk, the more truthful and honest and sincere you start getting comfortable with saying things that, you know, that's like your real truth, as they say, my truth, right? And you expect for everybody to just understand where you're coming from sometimes, or to just be on your side about it. And that's just not how the world works, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, the Manosphere is a great example of that, you know? I think most people would say that in its inception, the point of men speaking out didn't have anything to do with trying to tear down women. It just had everything to do with having the space to, again, I'm just using the term for the lack of a better one, tell your own truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, after a while, guess what? That truth became a little bit more, again, for a lack of a better term, vulgar, right? In its terminology and description of women. And so at that point, it's like, oh, well, you kind of want people to understand, but at the same time, you have to consider that when you talking crazy about a specific demographic, they not gonna always be so acceptable of it. So I think that's really what it is. It's not that I'm disagreeing with your perception. I think your perception was spot on.
Okay.
But I just think you become comfortable, dog. Like, and especially as a content creator, bro, the less people know about you, the better you are, the better off you'll be. The more they know about you, the more you're truthful, particularly about the not so pretty things. It's the more ammunition they have to use against you. You know, nothing is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So unless you're just keeping up the facade, at some point, you're just going to start being a little bit more honest, a little bit more vulnerable with your rhetoric, and it will be either misinterpreted or even properly interpreted or used against you, all of the above, you know?
Okay. Yeah, no, 100%. And that's kind of what, like, that's kind of what I was mining through, like, what you just articulated, Beans. It's kind of what I was mining through, like, but hold on, before I'll reserve my thought. Cheek, what you think, man?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think both Manosphere and BWE, they two sides of the same coin. So I view them both negative, just because neither one of them they're not very realistic or logical in a lot of ways. Like, what Beans was saying is true. Like, and I've seen it happen to Beans, is he'll present something factually speaking. Like, he's just looking into the thing and presenting the information as is.
Mm-hmm.
And because when you do that, whatever it is that is presented, he accepts. That is not what Manosphere does, and that is not what BWE does. They look for things they're looking for confirmation bias, for lack of better words. And then while looking for confirmation bias, they look to be victims and powerful at the same time. So it's like this crazy juxtaposition between power, victimhood, and trying to be, well, it's your fault, it's my fault, it's their fault. None of it is really constructive. And for people who are trying to be constructive or just curious, looking for answers, neither one of those groups are going to work, because you don't care whether or not it hurts men or women. You're just looking for something to be true. And when you look for something to be true and you point out you're wrong, because you're a man, the expectation is you should fit this narrative. If you don't, you're a simp, you're married, you're down low, or whatever the case. And if you're a woman and you don't fit that, you're a pick-me, nobody cares about the actuality of the situation, and nobody's willing to take the information as is. Everybody likes to reposition their issue or the critiques against them as something that is unwarranted, when in actuality is not. Like, for example, 2K was saying, and again, I'm not using him because I don't know him well enough, but 2K was saying, people will say I'm arrogant. But if, let's say, somebody actually arrogant is arrogant, I don't want to hear people say I'm arrogant. You just are. And I'm not saying that about 2K. I'm just, because what 2K is saying, a lot of men will say and try to apply that to them, and it may not genuinely fit. Right? But for those who it does actually fit, they won't ever claim that to be on their jacket. You know what I'm saying? So 2K may have earned the right to do all those things, but guess what? People who did not would still use 2K's rhetoric as if they 2K, and what he's saying apply to them, and it don't. We've seen the conversations happen long enough. We've seen the disingenuousness or the bad faith argument, or the not willing to accept things that are right in front of you. And people have taken the time out of their day to break it down from every angle, intellectually, have some empathy, and you still just won't accept it because it just doesn't fit the narrative. That's where both sides are, and somewhere in the middle is a DJ Hamp, a Beans, and whoever is in the middle where they can be honest about the conversation and the results and just go, let's be critical thinkers about the situation and not trying to push a narrative.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you, Cheek. Then I'll get to Devin. I think was next, or no, Prax. Do you think it was unfair? So you saying you see them both as negative? Do you think it was a fair comparison with to put MAGA and Black Manosphere one in the same kind of?
Yeah, but I can explain the logic behind that. A perfect example is Beans.
Do me a favor. Put your cadence on 1.25, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So yeah, it's fair. It's fair if you look at Beans as an example. Beans is somebody who is not, conservative, but has a term called conservative douchebag. Find me a conservative that didn't vote for Trump and doesn't support what he does and the way he moves, and then I'll find you a rarity. But what do you say to somebody who says President Trump is the best president in U.S. history and had a stream about it? What would you call that person?
A Trump supporter.
You would call them MAGA because that's what a Trump supporter is.
Yeah, that would
a Trump
be.
Supporter
Sorry, that's
MAGA.
semantics. Yeah. I would call him MAGA. Yeah, if I was using the terminology, I would say, yeah, that person would be MAGA. Yes.
And what if they told you, I am not MAGA. I just did a 3-hour stream on how Trump is the best president in the world.
Yeah, I think that would be hard for them to argue if they used the word best. Like me, 2K and I argue about this. You only got one best friend. President. You can't have. No, I'm saying like when you say best, that's absolute. It ain't two best friends. You got one best friend. Like that's how I see it. So if they say best, that's it. So
I disagree with y'all.
Yeah, Hamp crazy, man.
I don't care, man. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of going to a cheeky point about the best thing. Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
If they said best, bro, I'm like, yeah, you gotta be a MAGA man or whatever, Mega Minute Man, whatever.
Whatever, yeah, you gotta be that because everything about what you're saying, your rhetoric, everything is leading to that. Why would I not think that?
Yeah, I get the comparison with MAGA and the Manosphere, but it's more because of the traits, like the ego. The no filter, the sometimes not taking accountability, sometimes being over accountable. It's the traits that warrants the comparison, not really the politics of it all.
Okay. I see. Okay. What you guys think, man? I want to hear like unadulterated thoughts, but also what you think about Cheeky's take on the BWE and the Manosphere and how it's two sides of the same coin. Because what Beans did was help me expound on my initial premise, with his breakdown. 2K kind of gave us his anecdotal experience, even to the point of Adrian Broner was being him always. People chose to demonize him, and he would have never gotten that far if he wasn't feeling himself to that extent, So Prax, what's your thought?
Hello, everyone.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning to you.
What you think?
About which, the MAGA and the BWE or the shit talking?
Go ahead. We'll decide as you go. It's bullshit.
I like the shit talking. I like people talking because I know I'm aware of how you think now. And I can respond in kind, or I cannot respond, right? I can make a decision on you. Okay. And when you talk about people talking brash, braggadocious, we all should like that. Because I want you to brag about your accomplishments. Because me personally, I will come to you and be like, okay, how did you get that? How did you do that? Because I want to win too. You should be happy with winning and whatever success that you deem necessary for you.
Thanks.
And one of the things I looked up and you said something about that word humble. Do anybody know what that word humble means?
I hate it.
It says have a low opinion of yourself or something to that effect.
Who did somebody use the
If
word
someone
humble
could
today?
look up. Yeah.
I said the word.
Okay, my bad. I was on the phone. I apologize.
I hate the word.
If you look up that word, the definition, it's like low self-esteem. You know. Now,
well, that's incorrect. I apologize. I just don't. I hate when we disseminate wrong information.
What does humble mean? What is said in there?
Right. So it's not low self-esteem. It's just saying you're not overvaluing your own importance. Right.
I can just read it.
You don't think
just read it. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't think your existence is that much more important than everybody else's.
Having a modest.
Wait. You got listen. Make sure y'all just make sure you understand. We say hello and everything. I don't want to have to even go down that train, right? Now, so Beans only interjected to make sure we have the proper definition, right?
Right. Correct.
So he wasn't trying to halt you or take the mic. He's saying, what is the proper definition? And then we want you to get your unadulterated thought just like everybody else did. And then we can have the argument, discourse, conversation, whatever it ends up being. All right. So what's the proper definition of humble?
Mont was reading it directly, so he can read it directly.
I'll read it then. I'll read it. So humble. This is the AI overview. Is that okay? Is everybody okay with that or no?
Yeah, I got married. Yeah, it's all fine, I think.
Okay. All right. Humble describes having a modest, low view of one's own importance, being free from arrogance, or having a low rank / status. It characterizes someone who is unpretentious and respectful, or something small and simple, a humble home. As a verb, it means to lower someone's pride or to defeat an opponent. So if I humble somebody in the ring, that means I won the fight, right? Essentially. Adjective.
Now,
despite his fame, he remained a humble man. Adjective. They lived in a humble cottage near the sea. Adjective phrase. In my humble opinion, we should take the other route. Verb. The champion was humbled by an unexpected defeat. Okay.
Yeah, so no, that doesn't even coincide with the meeting. Because the meeting said a low importance of oneself. You're important. If you win something, you're important. I want to know how you won. Everybody want to win, right? Everybody want to be a loser now?
Hey.
I'd love to interject.
All right, well,
okay, because it didn't
he gotta finish his
juxtapose.
point. Once you get you could literally use your opportunity to argue with Prax.
Thank you, Mark. I'm saying this. It didn't juxtapose to anyone else. It talks about oneself, how you think of yourself, regardless of what anyone else outside of any other entity other than you does. It doesn't state any of that, right? Now, how you feel about it, that's something else, right? Now, I want to get to this MAGA thing. Words have definition. And the MAGA, the acronym, and it was used as a mnemonic because people got to remember, and people don't look at it. They look at the person who said MAGA versus what the word actually means. If you look up the word America, it means, don't hold me to this. I can't say it verbatim, but essentially it talks about Native American, which talks about the Aboriginal people, which was copper colored, and then later on the Europeans, and that was born here. Not the Europeans that came from a European country, but their children are so-called are Americans, right? So when they say make America great again, that's what it is. And the whole thing about making America great again is about copper-colored people and the European people that was born here, right? Now you got people from other countries that's doing illegal things. We are a de jure country. We are a country of law, right? If you break our laws, you gotta be consequenced. So when those people from other when the people from other countries come to this country, What do they put them? They put them in high, predominantly so-called black, which you don't know that you're the copper color that they're talking about. They're the Americans that you're talking about. Now, once you give their jobs to these other people, that's what they mean by make America great again, by giving the jobs back to the Americans.
Okay. Who's up here? Devin or Mont?
Devin.
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 Thank you, Mark.
So I know Devin gonna give his own 2 cents. So here's what I want to do real quick, Devin, if you don't mind. Mont said he wanted to respond to what was said. Mont, what's popping?
What's going on, y'all?
What's the word?
No, just when we start talking about definitions and stuff, and then we go to talk about like an acronym like MAGA, and then say it's a definition, directly a definition to it. I think we kind of get a little bit, I wouldn't say disingenuous, but it's make America great again. So that might mean something different to everybody. Unless it has they have a website which tells you what it means, we will have to refer to that. We can't like take our own interpretations and say, all right, well, America means this. And then I just think that's leading us down the wrong direction. That's all.
Well, but here's the problem. I can't respond to that, right?
Yeah, go ahead, and then we'll get Devin. I should have let Devin go first in hindsight.
So
ahead,
two things. Yeah, 2 things real quick, Mont. So first, to address you, Mont. The problem with that is if I say me and my homies, we create a group and we call that group the Protectors of Women. But our actions is we go around and beat women up. So would you say that? No, but that group, whatever the name of our group is, right? Oh no, that group, that means they protectors of women. Or would you base it on what our behavior is? Would you base it on what our actions is, right? Would you base it on what our rhetoric is? Or are you just going to allow us to maintain this title that absolutely has no correlation with what we're actually doing, right? I think that's the problem when we try to ask people to dumb themselves down, right? And say, hey, no, don't look at Black Lives Matter and look at them saying that they're here for all this gay stuff and all this other stuff. No. They call it Black Lives Matter, so that's all that matters. Like, we can't ask people to dumb themselves down. And then very quickly, I wanted to respond to Prax to say, well, this is the thing about the example that you used. Those people who tend to brag about their success, and you like, man, I want to be able to go to them and ask them how they do it. They're not going to tell you. Like, that's the thing about those people. The ones who tend to brag about it, they're not going to help you. They're not going to give you no information. They're going to tell you got the same 24 hours in the day they got. They're going to tell you got the same access to the internet that they got, right? They're not going to walk it down with you. Quick example. I know 2 brothers. One of them, because I'm on Hamp's platform, I won't name the other one, but Hamp is one of them. They're both believers in their own way. They both know that I'm not a believer, right? One of them, Hamp, is a very humble person. Knowing that I'm not a believer, he'll still have conversations with me for an hour or 2 if it need be, because he's humble and he is more concerned with my edification than whether or not I'm trying to prove the Bible wrong. Whereas the other guy, who I also respect and have a lot of love for, he want to cuss me out. He want to throw it in my face that I'm not even a believer, so why do I care? Right? So that's the difference between the humble guy and the egotistical guy. And I think it's fair to say we can clearly see which one of them is probably the better option to have as a friend.
I don't think that's true. That's not true. Because if you talk to the top 1%, they love to talk. They love to educate you. They want you to, when these top tier people have these companies, they want to impart the information so their company can run effectively. They want their team members to be efficacious. So they're going to tell them how to do it. They're not going to hold back and say, okay, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You figure it out on yourself. No. If you come to them and ask them, how did you become successful? There's talks about it. There's talks about them all the time. They talk about it on YouTube all the time, man. Mm-hmm. Right? David Stein, David Stewart, what's the other guy? All of them. You could just look and they'll tell you. Shark Tank, all those guys, they'll sit down and explain to you how it works. Once I figured it out, I love talking about it because I want you to win. Because if you win, I'm safe, right? If I'm making money and you're not, and you see me, you're gonna be like, okay, let's go rob that guy. And I'm like, nah, you ain't gotta rob me. I'll show you how to do it. Right?
Yeah, I understand. But you have to also now you have to understand that those names, those people whose names you said, now you would have to, not right now, but like you know, in general, you would have to show us video of them bragging, because that was the premise of this whole conversation is people who are braggadocious, the egotistical ones, the ones who want to just run around and talk about what they've done and how much success they've gained. What I've seen, and you particularly use the top 1%, they don't tend to talk about it. They don't tend to wear their money like some of the guys that come to mind when I hear terms like braggadocious and egotistical, right? So I think we might be talking about two different groups of people. But you may be right. If you could show me a video of the Davids being braggadocious, then you might be right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I take bragging as you telling me what you achieved. However, the striking of the tone, regardless of the intonation.
Okay.
Right? Because some people are a little bit more fervent than others.
Let me get Devin in real quick. Let me get Devin in, and then we'll be free flow. Devin, what's popping?
Yes. What's up? Good morning. Good afternoon. What's up, guys?
What's going on?
So I think one of the key foundations to this whole conversation is just the individual's foundation and the substance of that person. I think while we're going through this, the person who's exerting themselves, ultimately what being said is like they're speaking their truth, their ego, what they feel about themselves, their life perspective. I think, and as you increase your tone, I think that was a top, conversation we had this week, was when you increase your tone and how much you push it out to the masses, I think that comes with more validation of, your truth, your ego, the things that you push out into the world, that you have to validate that more with actual substance in your foundation. And I think both sides hold a responsibility of the people who present that information. And I think the people who actually interpret that information to make sure that they are not misinterpreting what's actually being presented out to the world. I think responsibility holds on both sides. And I think ultimately, I think what we're seeing today is a lot of people who start presenting themselves and they start presenting their truth, their ego, they start to care less about that tone because people misinterpret whatever they're trying to say or what they're trying to do for their own bias, their own good, their own ego, their own truth. And then just to actually get the definition I looked up for humble was having a modest view of one's own importance, being free from arrogance, or having low social status, simple conditions. So my thing is, I think the biggest thing we have is there's a conflict of people feeling that their thoughts or importance is more important than somebody else's. So I think if you go with that when people are speaking that, hey, I'm not more important than that person, or if that person is presenting that information or conveying or pushing themselves out in the world that they're not more important than somebody else, I think that's where the rockiness goes down to where people start to find the evil in you because you start saying something that's like that contradicts this foundation, this truth of what you've done, what you believe, what you do, how you present yourself in the world. So that's kind of how I view this whole conversation.
Okay, so that's about the humble stuff. What about the speak long enough, talk long enough, exist long enough, be in the spotlight long enough to become a villain? What about the characterization?
I think that goes back to the point where I made of, what is your foundation? Does your foundation matches the truth or ego that you're presenting? I think when those things don't match up, people start to call it out. And I think you can survive it.
Oh, okay. That's the part. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can survive it if you're speaking your foundation, your truth, and your ego matches. I think when people start living something that's not matching, that's when the actual, snowball effect of you going down is, because then you're trying to validate something that you don't preach.
I missed it, but then I recall. Okay, you said that. Okay, 2K, you disagree, and then we get to.
Then we get Mont back in.
Absolutely. It don't got nothing to do with you, bro. You literally got one person looking for a reason to invalidate anything that you ever said. It's kind of like your girl going through your phone, right? And when she go through the phone, you done deleted all the messages, or she ain't find nothing. And the first thing she say, well, you deleted all the messages with no proof. So They just looking for the reason to turn you into the villain in their head. You could be the same person for 20 straight years, bro. It don't matter. They're going to find a reason to villainize you. And there's nothing you can do about it because you don't see yourself as a villain. They do.
2K, who is they?
They is them.
Who is them?
Them is people.
The adversaries.
What percentage of people are you talking about?
All the percentages of people. No matter how you look at it, bro. If Hamp was the leader and people started to resent Hamp, after a while they would find a reason to turn him into a villain in their head. There has to be a they, there has to be a them.
Right, but you just skipped a step, right? Because you said if they start to resent him, but what would be the reason, right?
He don't have to have a reason. He can be the exact same person for 20 years. What Hamp does doesn't matter. It's what they want to see Hamp as. If Hamp is too perfect, they going to say this nigga can't be this perfect. I got to find the flaw. I got to find the flaw.
Are you saying you think most people are like that?
They killed Jesus, nigga.
No, I think the biggest difference is the tone.
He did blaspheme though. But I mean, according to them, it would have been what he said would have been blaspheming, right? But I'm just saying from your opinion though. I'm not saying that it don't happen. Yeah. I'm just wondering if you think this is like the majority of people. Say like we can use Hamp as an example. We can say that most people don't resent Hamp. I think that has everything to do with the way that Hamp carries himself.
No.
They're not finding him in a million contradictions.
No, yet. Hamp doesn't have to have one contradiction. When you win too long, you become the villain.
Okay, yes.
Can I demonstrate that?
Yes. Well, hold on.
I gotta get back in there.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me read the super chats real quick. It's interesting points, man. And that's what I needed y'all help because I'm conflicted. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking like, was it what Devin said, what 2K said? Like that's why I brought up these examples, you know, trying to mine through this shit. All right, let me read these real quick. Vet Life was popping. With the 20 ball, he says, salute, Hamp. I disagree with Cheeky. The Black Man Affair was not an echo chamber. We had numerous coliseums challenging each other's ideas. Names that you'll all know today were forged through KS, Crimson Cure, Fantastic, Angry Man. See, Robert the 10 says, historically, that phrase "Make America Great Again" was first said by President Ronald Reagan in the 80s. Okay. Kakashi with the $5 says, notice how the boomer iPhone guy used his personal meaning of humble after hearing the definition. It just means not proud to a fault. It's simple. And I read this one from Nate. Hit the like button, hit the like button, man. Go ahead, Mont, and then we'll get Tiff.
Yeah. So when it comes to definitions, I mean, when it comes to words, you know, I like words like anybody else. But I'm typically not as rigid as other people because I have a different understanding of, you know, the words in the dictionary than other people. But when we talk about, like when Bean's example of, what do you say? Oh, protect. If I say I want to protect black women and we go like whipping on black women, like of course that's a kind of a radical example, but I understand what you're saying. But a lot of things are much more nuanced than that. Like for example, I think iPhone, you defined America, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Prax, I mean, you defined America. What was your definition of America?
Well, I can't say it verbatim, but it was speaking to the natives, and they was talking about the natives, which are the Aboriginal copper colored. It says that copper colored people, and then it says European later on, European, and their descendants, but their descendants, if they was born here.
Are you defining an American or America?
An American. The America is the land itself.
Yeah, because you said make America great again. It doesn't say make Americans great again necessarily. Like the phrase is make America great again. So what I would assume that to be is somebody believes that at a certain point America was great, and great is different, means something different to everybody else. You know, your measure of success. So that's why I say the nuances there of like, what do you mean when you say make America great again? Right. And if somebody is going off of, it's reasonable to say it was first coined by Reagan or whoever coined it in a certain time, and we can go off of what they meant you know, and what they meant back then. I think that's reasonable. Or you can just go by, what do we think this means? What does great mean to you, and all that type of stuff. So, and when it comes to definitions in general, I think that most people think that the dictionary is here to tell us what to do and how to use words, but the dictionary is here to tell us how we are using words. It's like a journal. It's like journalism. It's not here to tell us what to do. It's telling us what's happening. So if I use a word humble and I say, and most people in our culture use humble and it means something, that's the definition of humble, right? And it can have a formal definition, right? But there's also, what do you mean when you say this, and what do most people mean when they say this? So I'm not as rigid as other people because I have that understanding of dictionary.
I think.
Can I retort to that?
Yeah.
I like that.
The reason why I want to talk to that, because he said there's a difference between American and American. You're right, but in order for it, you're right, but you also have to understand that the reason why it says later that the Europeans that was born here are considered Americans because they nourished themselves on another land. They ate from another land. When you here, you eating from this land. So if you eat an apple tree from whatever state you in, you got the nourishment from that land, right? You are people of the land. You ate from that land. But when a child is born here, the mother ate from the land and it went into the baby's body, and now he has the energy of the land. That will make you American.
Where do you get your definition from?
I got it from the let me see.
Well, I think the crucial, I don't know if any of it is what we exactly talking about, because we're talking about the humble word, but I guess it goes back to Adrian Broner. I think the one thing you said that you do have to leverage what it says in the dictionary is that what most people have agreed upon, right? So the definition came about based on what most people have been saying that word means, like bling, you know, it got put in the dictionary because I agree. We said it meant this, so the dictionary responded by saying, okay, let's make sure we put this in there. You know, so somebody goes, it says bling means something is not shiny. You'd be like, no. Exactly. You know, but I like what you said. I think that's accurate. Like, we said a thing and now boom, let's write it in here. You know, but if a motherfucker just go off the plantation, so to speak, you're like, come on now.
It's like ignorant, right? You or somebody will tell you, oh, you're using ignorant wrong. No, I'm not. Ignorant means rude, and it also means not knowing. It also means you don't have information. It means both of them, right?
And the dictionary has put in several definitions for a word because it can be used a few different ways.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
The reason why I got it from the American dictionary of the English language, and you could probably find that you could actually go to the Library of Congress, because these words have meanings.
Practice, I'm not gonna lie. This part of the conversation is much less about what I was talking about. So just make it succinct, because it's not profiting in us right now.
It's profiting because now you understand.
No, we haven't actually furthered our understanding.
Because you will understand. Listen, you will understand when you said MAGA, right? People had a connotative thought about that.
Yes,
you're right. Most people would say that, but it doesn't. It's not factual. It's connotative. It got to be.
But the conversation is predicated out of the connotation, right? They said Black Manosphere MAGA. Most people saying negative. You edifying them about the denotation is not going to change their outlook on MAGA and Black Manosphere being related. I just know that, right? Just because I do this a lot. They care less about the denotation, but rather what is being conveyed by both groups.
But those who want to be right, that want to understand and know.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my point. People are gonna.
I see.
I understand what you're saying.
So people want to be. Most people want to be wrong.
I think they want to go with the connotation because that's what they understand right now. Also, I have limited time, so if we go through all the denotes, then we won't get to the connotation, which is most prevalent in our faces. Pause. I think.
Oh, entertainment. Nice.
Yeah. Well, no, don't do that, right? Because I can also catch the facetious nature of it, right? I hope you thoroughly understood
I'm
what
not
I
being.
said.
Listen,
Well, just making sure. We're just making sure. Well, no, don't. Well, I'm talking right now. I'm talking right now, right? So that's one thing that I'm more keen on now more than ever, right? Even in my Discord, I had to kind of make sure that somebody wasn't taking a tone with me that I don't appreciate, generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I give credence to what you said. However, I just know what the conversation is about, and it is about the connotation. You know what I'm saying?
And this,
so
right,
that's the key. That's the key.
Right,
Let me get
I
Tiff in
understand.
because I've been trying to get Tiff in. Right. So Tiff, what's popping?
Hey, big little brother, how are you?
What's going on? How you?
Good. I had to pop up, and you cleaned it up. I was like, oh Lord, they're gonna, the BWE girlies. Some of them are mean, and they're gonna be like, they're over there talking. I'm like, yo, there are some good BWE content creators, and I think you made the ultimate point. And I don't understand why we're having this side conversation of anybody can take something
Tiff,
that's meant to be positive.
It's not. Well, here's the thing. It's not a side conversation, right? What Mont and Prax is talking about is substantive, right? But we're having a conversation about the connotation, right? So I just want to make sure that's clear.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I'm coming up here, please. I don't want no smoke with you BWE girlies, okay? There's no smoke. I think that there are places that just, if you don't fit a particular environment, I think what a lot of people will not do is say, this environment is not for me. They rather what you say, infiltrate or try to change it. Like if it's not a message for you, don't stay there and muddy the water. Don't stay there and make it something that is not, because it's just not for you. It's not. It's like going to be for everything. Everything's not for everybody. And I think it's unfair when people, maybe you move, you change your mind, something's happened, and you're trying to now make a movement fit you. Like you've outgrown a space, and that's okay. But don't then try to make it all negative because you're no longer in that arena. That's all I'm saying.
What do you mean by outgrown?
Maybe outgrown is the wrong word. You've changed. I changed. The thing, like just certain rhetoric for me, if it's not balanced, it's dangerous. And I feel like if you're in an unbalanced environment or where you can't have challenging opinions, so like I can come up here, you and I can go back and forth, that's not always welcome in particular environments. It feels like you become the ops. Like when Cheeky said, you either become a pick me or a mammy. Like you literally have to say, okay, whatever's going on, if I want Black women to improve and I'm causing static, I need to leave because now I'm causing other Black women to not improve. I'm in the way.
Okay.
I'm in the way.
Wait, you're saying that you call static because you disagreed?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think I
were
got
you
some really...
were you wrong?
No.
So okay, so they wanted an echo chamber?
I'm going to say where I was, it did not seem to be able to process different opinions. Specifically, if you had anything positive to say about men. If you're dealing, but here's the other thing. I realized I was around some women, not all, and I'm not going to say the majority. I'll say there was a loud minority that may have been harmed or had some type of different energy. And if I'm like, no, Black men are good, or no, I this, and it's like you're rubbing them to a point to where now I'm the voice that's causing these unhealed spirits to not be healed. I gotta bounce because I want you to heal. I want you to get where I am.
I guess.
I think.
Hold on, Devin. Hold on. So, do you agree with Cheeky then? It's negative.
It can have a negative aspect. Everything that Cheeky said, I completely agreed.
Okay. He didn't say can though. He said it was negative. He was emphatic.
I'm not going to be emphatic because I know some really great BWE creators that they are helping women.
Yeah, he's saying.
I know good men of spirit guys.
But he's saying the The general
Where
understanding,
it is
general
now,
sentiment.
where it is now is negative. Where it was, no. Where it is now is negative.
Wait, now you left before or after it got negative?
I was right in the transition. Like when I got there, it was a beautiful thing. And then it just started going somewhere wicked. And I'm like, the talk was wicked. Like this is wickedness. I can't, it's wickedness.
Go ahead, Devin.
Yeah, no, I think ultimately, I think going back to what Chiki was saying and how it ties into what Tiff was saying is I think the ultimate foundation of Black women empowerment wasn't on a solid footing. I think there was negative feelings and things that brought it out. So as people are trying to present their how they feel about the Black woman movement, people started interpreting it very badly and based off their truth, their ego, and I think that's where Tiff came into conflict with it, where it's like, all right, the way you're presenting this, that doesn't match my truth and how I see the world. And I think, and because of that, I think that's where the contradictory, the things collided was the foundation of it was tainted and not where people if you were as an individual came here with like a positive and a good foundation, you brought out those good things like Tiff is trying to do. But if you were adding on to the tainted foundation of the Black woman empowerment movement, I think that's where the issues came in a lot. So I think back to my point earlier, just to land my plane, foundation and matters the most of everybody's movement, and that plays out of how long you survive when it comes to the topic of you talk long enough to become the villain, because if your foundation is bad, then you don't last as long.
Okay, the floor is open. If anything you guys wanted
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
So let's say I started a slavery museum, right? A slave history museum, right?
Yeah.
And particularly about America.
Okay.
If I'm honest in my museum, it's gonna be a lot of stuff in there derogatory towards white people.
Yes.
But am I trying to be derogatory towards white people? Or am I just telling a story? I think that's the difference. That's the difference between the two movements. Right.
Okay. So which one is which?
Yeah, I think the manosphere movement was just telling a story. Right. It was just getting the story out. It was trying to change the narrative, particularly about Black men. Let's get some data, some facts, some things out here. Let's talk about our experiences, because we just been the villain for too many years.
Yeah.
Now we have these mediums to be able to discuss our plights and our point of views and experiences. Yeah. Whereas with the black woman empowerment, right? That's just specifically about them. Right, it's their whole thing is about making them, have more political power, more economical power, right? More, positions and like CEO positions and things like that, right? But the thing is that if you're just trying to empower yourself necessarily, you don't have to tear down the other demographic to do it, right? I think that's really where the problem comes in now.
And Beans, I want to say that I think part of the Black women's empowerment movement came from just white feminists. And I think ultimately I think their initial thing was them wanting to separate and gain power from their white counterparts, males. And then they brought that same sentiment over, but also wanted to separate the race thing. And I think that's where that's where the negative things came about within the Black movement, was because ultimately I think we all agree with history was the separation between the Black man and the Black woman is my idea and how I feel about it.
But that's a false narrative though, really quickly, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, I just want to really quickly. That's actually a false narrative, right? When we say that do I agree that the feminism was used to upend the Black community? Absolutely. But when we say that our women didn't have the same fight as the white woman, that's not true. They didn't have the same fight with us, right? But in corporate America, they had the exact same fight, right? They didn't want to just be, relegated to domestic roles. They wanted to be allowed to flourish economically and be in positions where they could thrive, right? So I think that was also their struggle as well, which is why they
So,
fought for it.
to tie back to the point though, that what I'm trying to say is, no matter what you could have did, like it was her idea to see it as bad, right? If you in the house, like think about what a wife was, right? You in the house cooking, taking care of the kids. You don't got to work. You can sit down. Think about how good that is to us, right? Now, they chose to demonize that or in their head say, hey, now this is a bad thing. So no matter how good you treated them, it was always on them to look at it how they wanted to look at it, which go back to the premise of the show.
But you're not talking about black
No, but
women,
that's
though, right?
not.
You're talking
Yeah,
It
about
don't
white
matter.
women.
Any women, any person.
no.
I'm just making sure I understand who you're talking about. That's all.
Anybody, black women are no different from any woman in the world. They all
We've
the same.
we've
They're
always been
different from
different,
whatever you
and that's
do.
why the basis of what Devin is saying
Y'all
is not
ain't
false.
different. Stop saying y'all different.
1 second, 2K, because
Y'all
I
have-
let's go back and forth.
You
So
literally
first,
cut me off.
you right. Can we? But what you're saying, the BWE, the Black Women Empowerment, for anybody to assign that and associate that with white women and feminism is just not true. The BWE space was very specific for Black women, understanding that our situations are completely different. We have things in common with white women. We are not white women, and the way that we approach the world will never be the same.
Well, no, I agree. That's why I believe you separated. But ultimately, even back to what Beans was saying, even what he's saying, the purpose of what the movement was isn't really what's being espoused. And that's the whole reason why Tiff left in the first place.
Yeah, but again, right? You got to remember, she specifically outlined, right, that this is not what it was initially started at. Same thing we said with Black Manosphere, right? That was the point, right? Is that to Hamp's point, right? Is that once you continue talking after so long, right, you start getting into other spaces, you get more comfortable, you allow yourself to be more vulnerable. You start saying things that you wasn't really saying at first. Now
You mean the truth, like you said earlier?
So hold on. So like from what I'm being told now, because I'm not one of these guys who pretend like I was here from the birth of the Manosphere, right? But from what I'm being told in the beginning, they were having conversations about men and men's plight and what men ought to do for themselves. It wasn't about women. It wasn't about tearing down women. They didn't even have women on panels with them. It was all guys having conversations, right? So the focus was about men and what you need to do, and make sure you going to school, make sure you getting your bag and best version of yourself and all of that.
The reasons for the protection.
At some point, it became about relationships 99% of the time, right? And then that's why the conversations kind of sound the way that they sound.
Beans, I made this assertion before that the segment, not the entire segment, but I think the majority of the segment that has been having these conversations for a very long time do the conversations oftentimes a disservice. It's like the indoctrination is so deep, pause, you know what I mean? Or the way even in which they even want to have the conversation does the conversation a disservice. You know? Because it's almost like they've been just, what the word I said earlier.
It's the same.
It's like the fourth, the first, second, third phase of women, of feminism. It don't do justice to what's going on now. So the dudes who talking them old talking points don't do justice for what's going on now as well. So I see exactly what you're saying.
Feminism was for ugly women.
Have you ever spoken to a Christian that really they have the same scriptures that they go to if you try to push on why you left or why you may have been why you think that Israel or living like Israel is correct? You hear the same thing over and over. It's a religion. It's very cultish, religious like
dogma.
And then
that's
dogma, and that's what Manosphere has become, because I know what I'm gonna hear. I know I'm gonna hear 70% of women file for divorce. I know I'm gonna hear 50% of men. I know what I'm going to hear, and it reminds me of me talking to Christians when I was leaving Christianity and enter more to Israelite stuff,
You
you're gonna
going
hear
through-
it over and over again because they don't. It's no real critical thinking to the statistic because they don't update their talking
Well,
point. They don't
not
update.
only you learn through repetition.
They don't update the information because there's new information that'll point to something different, right? So where the conversation and why I think your platform does what it does is because it allows for other voices that go, "Hey, look at this article." Because you remember I gave you some articles to go, well, what does this say? There's more study. There's things bigger than just what's been talked about the past 5 years. But if you're a Christian or manosphere light, whatever you want to call them, you're going to stick to your scriptures because that's what you know, and that's what you know is safe.
That's a fact. That's why. And that's a good and a bad thing now, right? Because when you talking about this space right here, you have people saying the same stuff because them problems are still unresolved.
Right.
All right. Now, when you talking to the Christians, I don't like it because they are using the word to defend the word. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like weaponize, like you telling me that in the Bible it say don't talk to a fool. Well, yeah, that's the word defending the word. So it adds it's not helping. It's not helping. But if a human is saying, hey, I've been trying this, and this is still the problem, I mean, why move on to the next conversation when this is still unsolved? Why you present new data when this is still unsolved?
Because
I'll
it's
tell
the
you
same
why.
reason. It's the same reason why Hamp can point to the same exact scripture and go, "How are you bypassing this?" So for every person that says women file 70% of divorce, all it takes is a Hamp to go, "Why?" And then you start to see all of it fall apart. You
getting your answer from the problem. All right. That's my thing with the Bible text, right? You are literally getting your answer from the thing that I am challenging. That to me, that holds no value. It's going to protect itself. That's like saying, hey, 2K, the police come to me, hey man, we looking into a murder about you. I'm trying to see if you did it. Of course I'm gonna say no. That's what that is. But now this right here is different. You just can't say, well, why and Hamp got the answer. And we move on. Like, no, it's variables.
The reason why I think you have to be willing to do it though, 2K, is because at the end of the day, even if I agree, right, that as a black man, that my biggest plight was my woman, I can't fix them.
That's a fact.
I can't do nothing about them. So, but guess what else I can't fix? I can't fix the white man either.
That's a fact.
And
too.
I think he's equally as big as a plight as my woman is because he's the reason why she the way she is.
That's a fact.
So if I'm gonna do a show about her, I'm gonna do a show about him too, right? That's a fact. So that's my issue with the MAGA people is that I saw earlier today, Cheeky. I was watching Piers Morgan. They had Officer Tatum on. They called him out on something. He said like he was talking a certain way.
Called it fake. Call something fake.
And exactly. And then when they played the video back, it was like, yeah, see, you won't say these same things about the other side. You're specifically keeping your rhetoric to one side as if it's not applicable to the other side. But that's problematic.
I get that. Isn't that what was conveyed though? Like think about it. Yeah. Like 2K made good points, right? Now, but 2K would be guilty of that though. He has a presupposition regarding the Bible, right? And so he also knows what he knows, and he's been able to stump people with how he asks questions, right?
Exactly.
We had several conversations in which I'm like, oh, because this is here, because that's there, because and then he'll say, but Hamp, that's bullshit because you're using the Bible. I'm like, well, it's 80 books, right? And then even like the fool quote, it doesn't actually say that. It says, listen not to a fool according to his folly.
Well,
right.
I'm just using an example.
Well, but I'm also. Don't start the shit. This is how we get into it. Hey, but 2K. But no, I ain't trying to get into it because we be having too much fun. We get into it. But I'm saying, but you see how like that should matter. So I'm using that as a just example, as a fun example. Like if I'm saying, well, now 2K say like this, he's like, oh shit, okay. But he'll say, Hamp, fuck that shit, nigga. That's why I hate the like. And so we get caught up in the rigmarole, you know.
You know, I absolutely 100% understand that. I mean, I used to make the same argument about people using the Bible to justify the Bible.
Yeah.
Which is why I've learned that it's, like I said, it's only a few people that I actually will communicate with. I will pick up the phone.
You developed that.
I did a 3-way call with Freezy and my mama a couple of weeks ago. We was on the phone for about an hour and a half, bro. It was so fire. And we was going through certain books in Genesis. And it was so fire. We didn't all agree on everything, but the discourse was just so fire. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you get to a point where you know who is who.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's like, I'm not necessarily saying don't talk to a fool, but I will say don't argue with one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Beans, can I ask you a quick question real fast?
And that's the discernment of that. That's the discernment of that, Beans, right there.
The discernment is crazy because like the conspiracy theories, they was fools until they was right. Everybody's a fool until it's right.
But wasn't you talking about repetition though? Doesn't it say in the Bible you're supposed to tell a person twice?
Well, I ain't gonna go to the Bible to go to the Bible. Like I'm a hold the point.
The whole point. Right.
I'm a hold the point. I'm not even gonna go to the Bible to go to it because that's how I be really tearing their ass up. I really go to the Bible. Like my girl say I can't cheat on her, but the Bible say I can do anything through Jesus Christ who strengthens me.
I turn the penalties on. I got $2. I got my last $2.
Anything. That proverb, I hit it with the Proverb 626 so fast. A prostitute fee is only worth a loaf of bread. What you mean $40?
This man is wild, bro.
So listen. So I know how to play the game.
It's an allegory.
I'm trying to do it right though. Right. I want to have a conversation genuinely without these references of the problem the problem.
Yeah, 100%. And we could do a whole stream on that, right? But I just want to make sure we mine through as much as possible at this. Mont whispered that he wanted to say something, so let me.
Oh no, I just wanted to ask you: did brother name come up in that conversation even once?
Sorry, say it again.
Did AD name come up in that conversation even one time?
No.
I just wanted to ask Beans that real quick.
Wait, you asking me what now?
You said y'all was talking about God or something on the phone with Freezy. I just want to know anytime they come up.
Ma, go back on mute. Go back on mute, Ma. You know where you at. Jeez Louise, man. The Freezy.
Yeah, you stupid.
But I think back to the conversation.
No, to answer your question, no.
Stupid.
Back to the conversation.
People only focus on the wounds. You don't focus on what's healed. What's good is good. But the problem, people don't like problems. It's uncomfortable to have a problem. If somebody cuts you, I gotta talk about that until it's gone. And even when it's gone, it's gonna leave a scar.
God damn. That's a great point. I'm mad I ain't say it. I gotta clip it. That's a great point. So now that just answers the question for people who say, why y'all always talking about this? Because
it burns.
It's still open.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's still open. I said it.
That's crazy.
So if that's the case, then who hurt you is a valid question.
It's not who hurt you, and don't start that.
Wait, listen to what they just said.
Don't start that.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's
You see what just happened? I asked a question.
Let me turn
here we go.
A cheat.
God damn.
The who is too personal.
Hold on.
It's the what?
Mr. Beans. Who else yelling at me? Cracks.
No, I ain't come up here for this. I ain't got.
Do y'all know?
All I said. Hold on.
Do anybody know this?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Wait. God damn.
Has anybody noticed anybody know of anything about the Cookie Monster? Have anybody seen the Cookie Monster?
Cracks. You're not listening.
Doesn't cheat gesticulation like the Cookie Monster?
No.
What? That's a good
gesticulation. How you move your hands. I was trying to make it light. I'm bad at that.
You got me.
Nice try.
Okay. All I'm saying is, if based off of what you just said, what he said,
brother,
right? And if Beans heard correctly, like I did, who hurt you is a very valid question.
No, it's not.
No,
it's the intent. Who hurt you?
Why are we talking about the intent?
Anytime I ever heard that question, you was getting belt ass.
If I see a stab wound in a nigga chest, And I'm like, damn, what happened? Who hurt you?
That's the same as dictionary
the who is
definitions.
I'm
The
fucking with
intent
y'all, bro.
listen,
I'm
matters.
fucking
Cheek.
with y'all.
The
I'm fucking with
who
y'all. I'm
is
fucking
too
with y'all.
personal.
He just set us back 3 years. I hope y'all know that. Cheeky with
Nah, I
the
did. I
bullshit.
swear to God, I'm just playing. I'm really just playing. I'm really just...
No.
They gonna be like, ain't your boy Cheeky? Then your boy Cheeky say, we could ask you, nigga, who hurt you? Like, God,
It ain't. Yeah, don't ask that dumbass question because it's
Yeah,
it's
but
facetious.
See, no,
It's not
I'm gonna run with
genuine.
it.
Like,
Cheeky,
dog,
I'm gonna
I'm
run
just
with it. I'm gonna say it's a good question with the intent because you're trying to understand the foundation of somebody's issue, which at the same time is being humble within our scope of our conversation.
yeah, but don't do that shit if you being fake
I'm with
about it. I don't
practical
trust it.
though. It's too
I don't
personal.
trust that, Devin. I
You
think
taking
that's
it
cool to
from
try to flip it,
generality when you ask that
but
question.
that ain't it. Don't
So,
ask
yeah.
nobody who hurt
I
you
know.
because
So
then
the definition has
you gonna
changed.
piss me off for real. I was
Yes,
just
you
playing.
take it away from generality when you asking that question.
When you
'cause
ask that,
it could be somebody who's not like it could be somebody that's not going through these situations, right? Like as a man, I'm a male advocate because I'm a man. Like, I know what it's like to be a man, so I understand men. Therefore, I'm a male advocate, right?
For
but
sure.
I don't necessarily have to be going through something to understand. Like, yeah, that thing right there will tear a
It's fucked
man
up, yeah.
down.
Yeah,
Right, so we
for sure.
probably need to address that because
you
there's
could
more
ask that.
men dealing with that than we acknowledging. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey,
You can
shout
ask
out to
that
everybody,
question,
bro.
but you got to put an S behind that. Who?
No,
Who's?
no. It's not a question that's worth
The
asking,
who's.
bro.
It's not, bro. Because
Use.
It's
what
not a
do they
question
even got
worth
to do with
asking.
anything? My
No, it's
mama
not a
hurt me.
question.
Now what?
Yeah, exactly. Again,
Now
it's
what?
gonna it's
Go to
only meant for
therapy.
dismissive and fucking deflective purposes, bro.
And
Right.
Shout
malicious.
out to
Yeah.
everybody.
Shout out to
Shout out
you,
everybody.
Mr. Fantastic.
You know
I
what's up,
love
bro?
you, man. I'm a
Yeah, you too,
fan.
bro. Whoa, don't be a fan of me. You older than me, man. You can't be no fan, bro. We cool.
Why
But
not? The older we serve the younger.
Yeah, I
yeah,
got admiration of younger niggas.
yeah.
Oh.
So there's a couple things I heard you guys talking about. The black women were never fighting for what white women were fighting for because black women didn't get their rights when white women got their rights. Black women have always put themselves on a level they were never at, and in a competition they were never in. Black women did not have the plight that white women had. White women wanted a semblance of power of the men that they were attached to. Black women were always dealing with men that didn't have power at the time and never attained power. And what niggas claim today still don't have any power. Okay? So you can't then say that, well, black women were trying to or were equal to or doing the same thing white women were doing, but they were never in white women's shoes.
Right.
And still to this point in their day, what they say today. Another thing, shout out to Beans. Beans' assessment generally is exactly what the Black Manosphere was. The Black Manosphere came way before BWE content. These were black men that said, hey, we have issues and problems. We need to talk about these things and figure them out amongst ourselves, not just with the white men, because you have general men problems. And this is where people try to throw the bullshit. Oh, the white boys kicked you out. The white boys didn't kick out anything. The one that the white boys kicked them out, black men understood, and the progenitors of it will tell you this. Black men have our own unique issues and problems, societally, financially, politically, and most importantly, relationship-wise. So just like we were saying, a man that's a billionaire don't have poor people problems, right? And I'm not, that's a bad analogy because I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to call white boys a billionaires, right? Let's say tall or short, right? Tall or short, skinny, fat, whatever. My issues, just because we're all men, don't mean we have all the same issues, right? Just like a Mexican man gonna have different issues than what the black man has. So the Black Manosphere was created for those purposes. Black women then created BWE because black men started talking and they got wind of black men talking about the issues they were having with black women. So black women's whole movement is retaliatory to and to just beat down and shut up and all these extreme rhetorics and ideologies and counter to black men. Those of which, again, if you talk to some of the OG people, shout out to Angry Man, he'll let you know they had hit lists to where they were getting early black male content creators kicked off of the platform, right? Simply to shut them up, to take away their First Amendment and their or any of the discourse to even be had. So one that was created, and now of course, Black Manosphere is not perfect. You're gonna have some zealots, you're gonna have some extremists, you're always gonna have some weird ass niggas in any group of people, right? But they're far more weird ass bitches than weird ass niggas when it comes to this BWE shit. Because what I'm telling you is you cannot find the equivalent ever of black men talking about genocide of children within our own group.
That's a fact.
Never happened, never will.
That's
right?
a fucking fact.
And it's crazy how that always gets dismissed. Like, oh, that's just no. If I were to ever say anything about harming children in a sexual nature, nobody's gonna take that for no fucking joke, and you shouldn't, right? So when you have black women that are mothers, sisters, and you know have attachment to the most important part, bro, is the mothers. That was just crazy to me. And you had and you know everybody know the nigga in the wig, the motherfucker that was like the ring leader of the shit, bro. That was the biggest name. And then you went away from the BWE shit to the motherfucking witchcraft and prostitution shit, right? So you have all of these things where black women are participating in that is separatist, right? They want to separate from the black man. They want to make themselves superior to the black man. Hamp, you played the clip. They out here. Hamp, did you ever see black men going in a group of room and asking white women to exterminate or get rid of black women? You found that clip?
Never will.
So that's what I'm talking about, bro. When we say, oh, y'all keep talking about relationships and dick and pussy and all this, you don't have a choice because, again, like I say, that is the. My bad. Go ahead.
So you're getting some saying that it's not clear, some retorts or pushback in the chat. It's saying the reason why she said that matters. What was the reason why that was said? So
they said it.
Callie, so like Callie said, purposely leaving out the reason why it was, and this is not a super chat, but I'm reading it. This is not something I normally do. Okay, purposely leaving out the reason why it was said is funny to watch. What does that mean?
No, they say that shit on for hobby.
Well, yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah, there was no reason.
Oh, no.
I'll ask you this, Hamp. Hold on, Hamp. I'll ask you this, Hamp. What would be the only equivalent to something that extreme to be said?
Wait, so Hamp, no.
There's not.
What would be the only
Clubhouse? Okay,
yeah. What would be the only equivalent that could be a reply for black women to say that about black boys?
There's no reason to say it. There's no reason to say it.
Well, no. Let's just say so what I'm saying, Hamp, is even if it was that, it would be exactly what I mentioned, to where black men were advocating for the deletion of black girl babies or black children at all, which never happened. So
right,
Callie,
you saying they were forced upon.
Callie is a prime example of the issue and the problem, and why this BWE shit is nothing but just the worst of the worst. The fact of the matter that she's trying to justify it as a mother with sons is just proof positive what the fuck exactly I'm talking about.
Wait, Hamp,
maybe
I don't think that's.
Go ahead,
Hamp, I remember that because I was there for it. I think it's not that someone's trying to protect it, but more so give the reasoning. So, for example, but the reasoning was, if black men are saying single mothers are the reason why black people are distraught down, they're the reason for all the crime and all this, that, and the third. My understanding was she was saying, who are the people causing these crimes? It's black men. It ain't black women that's shooting, looting, stealing, killing, all those other things. So instead of, let me finish, and then because I'm just laying out the premise. I'm not saying I agree, but I think it's fair to share the context, and then we have the debate.
Damn, I gotta go.
If black men are the cause of these things, we should figure out whether or not we're having a black boy or a girl. And if it's a black boy, kill it or abort it because black women are the cause of all these criminal black men, and we're always to blame for it. Now,
so it was offered as a solution. So if they're such bad mothers and they're single mothers, and the boys seem to come out the most negative and do the most harm, don't birth them.
To society as a whole, and black manosphere content creators keep pointing that out. What's the solution? And they get
So the non-solution, Cheeky, would be literally wiping out your bloodline, because if you keep doing that, Cheeky, what's going to happen?
Say that again. We asking?
If you keep using that dumbass method, what's going to happen, Cheeky? Extinction. Right?
No, that was a counter.
No, don't say no. Hold on. Don't say no.
Yeah, no.
It's not no. The answer is yes. It's extinction.
Wait, no. The answer is they'll be with men that don't look like them. That was the other part of it. I don't agree with this, but that's the other solution, right?
So either
black
way it
women,
goes, Cheeky, I'm still right because who would it be extinction of?
it wouldn't be extinction of anybody to them.
Yes, it would. If you stop, if you kill all the black male babies, there'll be no more black males.
Well, that's not true because
yes, it is. Hold on.
If you're mixed, hold on. Listen, if you mix, right, and you mix with somebody, if somebody produces a black mixed kid, and that black mixed kid get with a black woman,
Hamp, where we at?
What does that produce?
Dilution.
Hamp, where we at, Hamp?
Tiff said I can't even be a part of the black community.
Chicken, cut it out, man.
Hamp, where we at?
Nah, I
Stop
can't.
it.
Nah,
Stop
if I
it,
got
Chicken.
kicked
Cut
out
it
the
out.
black community, you can't say that shit.
You said what? Sorry, I missed it. What was that? What you saying?
No,
Some
where we at,
bullshit.
Hamp? Who's the seed is the what? You are what your who is?
What your father is.
Okay, so like I said, and that's not just biblically, that's actually scientifically, right? So there would be no more black males. So it would still be extinct. Okay?
Yeah.
So
the black
the
American
promotion,
man, yeah.
The promotion of extinction due to, let's just say, oh, how about we be better mothers? Because that's where the problem is.
Right.
The problem is the way that the children are being raised, not just the children are being birthed and they're here. Because then you're suggesting that black men are just, I guess automatically has a predisposition for violence. We know that's not true, right? Then furthermore, Cheeky.
Fantastic. Are we talking about these two different videos? Because I thought the video you mentioned was the one.
It is two. Yes,
girl.
Beans. Yes, it is two.
Yes, it's several.
Okay.
Fuck, I've been.
No,
in
but
a
Beans.
couple
I know
of
because Beans was talking about the KKK shit, right?
Yeah, the KKK.
Yeah, it's two different things. I never seen what they talking about, Beans. I think we watched that
Not
together. Or we watched
never
it.
come from man. Yeah,
I done been there.
No man side
Yeah, Bean. That's why you was looking like it's two totally separate.
No, I'm talking about the delete black male babies. I wasn't even talking about. I was referring to. I wasn't talking about the KKK.
But
shit.
now
I was
let me ask this though.
okay.
Now, so here's what I was saying, Mr. Fantastic. I don't know if you've seen the beginning of the stream, right? Essentially, I'm saying you exist, speak, talk long enough, eventually to become the villain. BWE in its onset, I'm asking, is it negative? Black women empowerment doesn't seem negative when I say it out loud, right? And then Tiff says she had to get going because of maybe stuff like this. And I'm also asking, does this encompass all of what it stands for? This level of disposition. This is obviously an extreme point, but this disposition, is this most of it?
Yes, the most of it was again, and it's you don't have to. What is Callie? Ask Callie about the 3 trash bag Dusty. Ask Callie about the celebration of black men being unemployed and being falsely, portrayed, right, and all these different things. All the negative stats, all these negative things, again by a individual that was a failed swirler. And possible motherfucking escort, right? But that's another thing for another day. So all of this stuff was, the majority of this content was, y'all know how y'all quick to throw the jacket. All y'all do is talk negatively about black women. But we know that's not the case. That's literally like 99.9% of that content.
Really?
It is, how do we shit on the black man? How do we separate from the black man? Even like I guess like the residual effects of it, or trickle down, Hamp. Remember, right? And I'm not saying that these women are what's the name by any means but Fox Soul. Remember when Ice Cube went on a thing? He was talking about the thing for black people,
the black contract to the
the political contract for black Americans or whatever. And they asked him, well, what about black women? And he said
black people.
he said, aren't black women black people?
Black people?
They say, well, yeah, but no. That's what they say, Hamp. So it's, again, Hamp, it goes to what I further laid in the premise. Black women have always had this hatred and detestment for only black men because of the condition that all black people suffer.
So, Mr. Fantastic. Okay, so let me ask this question, right? It's to everybody though, too. So, upon your arrival, right? So when you arrive, so I arrive on the internet 2023 or 22, something like that, right? Most of the content from the manosphere I see, not the extreme parts, right, but mirrors back and forth, right? It's even been explained to me like, nah, not only do we got to retort, we got to tell y'all how bad y'all actually doing, right? And so if I get here late, how do I tell the difference of the goals of either party?
I think I answered that clearly for you, Hamp.
Okay.
I think the biggest difference is what you see is when you see the Black empowerment movement, you don't see people going over there to then combine and share ideas and have an honest conversation. I think when you see a lot of the Black men that are having these conversations, I think it was even alluded to by Beans earlier, which is you start to see a lot of platforms where Black men start inviting Black women, and they start having conversations because they don't want to just bash the other side and they want to have the honest conversation and want the truth to come out, because the foundation and the purpose of the whole start of the movement was on a good foundation.
I gotta disagree with that.
For sure.
Can I
disagree? How, Mike? I need to hear it.
I think we should not.
I totally understand the idea of what this thing used to be, right? But I experience you niggas every day. I'm experiencing y'all, right? And most of the not Beans, you are actually a pleasure to talk to, right? You different from the other guy, but most of the guys here are just here to air out grievances, right? They're frustrated. And I understand what red pill is. Like, red pill is red pill. You can't, we know what that means. It just means the truth. However, the red pill community is has become a group of men who don't want to pivot from their current ideology. They're very comfortable there, right? I'm big on new information. I'm new information. Oh shit, my bad. I apologize. I was wrong. He was wrong the whole time, right? They not like that. They don't want to move off of what they think they know. And I find that to be one of the biggest issues. And I'm glad we're talking about it, because now it's like, all right, we can start to attempt to correct it and, talk to more people about but that's kind of what I see.
No, I said, so what's going wrong with it is we got the ops at the table, bro. Listen, and this just to attest that we never treated our women how they wanted to, because they got a seat at the table that we're talking to them about. That's like inviting the Russia to the goddamn table when we going over tactics. And instead of us coming together and trying to find a solution, we actually bringing them in to try to incorporate them with it. And in return, they destroy the whole fucking table. All right, so yeah, grievances get aired, but you can't understand. You got to understand, we got Tiff at the table full of men right now. If Tiff was an operative, she gonna go back and tell them, and here she gonna be derailed for another 20 years.
How did they destroy the table?
By being at it.
I don't think so. Listen.
Who invited them? We did. That's what I'm saying. We invited them to the table, treating them like we always treated them, like equals.
The tables the table was destroyed because they left the table.
No.
He's talking about something different. Prax, he's talking about something different. He's talking about something entirely different. Let me say something real quick.
Yeah, but 2K is making
okay, go ahead.
My bad, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Fancy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, so 2K is making the most important part, right? But this is what men understand. Even in war, eventually what's got to happen? The war got to stop.
Yep.
You got to come together. Exactly. You got to come together. You got to negotiate. You got to agree to terms.
That's at the end of the war. That's when there's a victor. All right. We fighting the war, asking them, hey, can we shoot y'all today?
Well, all wars wasn't victors.
No. So 2K, I think this is different.
No, but ain't that how wars are fought? I could have sworn they had rules of engagement, right?
They got rules of engagement, but there's a clear fight. They don't know our strategy.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying though, right? And
what's the ceasefire?
This is a civil war, 2K, right? So within the Civil War, to where everybody has to share resources and everybody has dependent upon each other, so on and so forth. And it's for us knowing that you have a lot more negotiations and it's different. Because it literally is. You remember in the Civil War, you had brothers fighting brothers, fathers fighting sons, and so on and so forth. So these are literally our mothers, our sisters, wives, girlfriends, whatever, so on and so forth. So it's going to be a different, daughters. It's going to be a different thing. And black men are coming to this with a harsh benevolence, right? Listen, bitch, you need to do what the fuck I'm telling you to do. No. Whether you want to fucking do it or not. I'm just, hey.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get no.
You know what? Listen.
Rutabaker.
Listen, Brad. Cheeky. The funny thing about it, bro, and this is how I know this shit is just so crazy. If y'all think about the shit y'all knew, like dirtbag ass niggas gotten shit bitches to do, And then of course, you know, the P's, bro. The way and if you ever read the book, you know what I'm saying? The shit that women will do for ain't shit nigga, and the direction they will take, the worst of worst.
They didn't call them bitches.
I just can't.
Mr. Fantastic, they ain't call them
I
bitches.
can't get down
Hold
with
on,
the
before we
bullshit,
do
bro.
that, before we do that, can I just hold on before we do that? I just want to get my thought out real quick because I just want to answer the question that Hamp asked. Because honestly, I'm not the brightest bulb, but I'm not sure if we answering it. It sounded, Hamp, to me like you were asking, how does a person who's coming into the space more recently understand what the origins of the space was? Is that what you were asking? Unless he gone. Okay, cool. So he on the phone. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
what was the question again?
How would they be able to tell?
Yeah, so
that's what he asked, Beans.
To be
You asked the right
honest
question.
with
That's what he
you, to be honest with you, I don't think you can. Right? It's like you're not gonna be able to tell it. The only way you're gonna be able to understand the origins is two ways. You're gonna have to talk to people and be involved in conversations where they're discussing it, or you're just gonna have to go back and watch it for yourself, which I don't think most people are gonna do anyway, right? But I think I said this before, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong, Jiggy. If I'm a man in my life, I got my mama, great healthy relationship. I got my woman, great healthy relationship. My daughter, my sisters, my aunties, my cousins, all the females in my life, my female co-workers and stuff. Great healthy relationships. But then I come to the internet and I'm hearing all this, women ain't this, women ain't this, women ain't this, women ain't this. I don't think that's gonna impact me like that.
They ain't gonna do nothing.
I don't think it's gonna
they go
have
crazy. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna have this effect on me. I think the reason why, because women are saying it's having this effect, and I don't want to disagree with them that it's not, but at the same time, it's having an effect because it's resonating with them, right? If it's
to some level, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if it's this many men who come to the space and they hear a podcast and all of a sudden they hate women, hey, who hurt him before he got here?
But it's not hate though.
Well,
I'm just using that. I'm just using the terminology that they use. You don't have to try to correct us on everything.
Yeah, he's only
brother.
using.
Yeah, I'm just using the terminology
that they was using.
Hey, Tiff, what's your thoughts so far? I think a lot of guys been talking a lot so far.
See, you just made 2K's point.
I know.
She need to be at the table. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. We've been talking a lot, and we've been talking about women, but Tiff hasn't said nothing.
Mother Tiff.
I'm listening, and I'm just gonna say this. This is why I be by Hamp channel, because it is it's measured enough to where, one, I can be at the table. Two, there's a level of decorum that's respected and expected amongst just humans. I do find it alarming. I was one of those people, I'm like, these women can't be this evil. Like, this is not real. Like, I just couldn't. But if you take yourself out of it and just see, I think that there are valid issues on both sides. And I think the way that we come at it is absolutely, I can't take it. I don't think it's productive. And I'm like, if you want to empower yourself as a Black man, and I want to empower myself as a Black woman, because ultimately we want to be better together, then the bulk of the conversations can't be coming at each other's neck. And I can even see, like, even in the sense of like having a measured conversation, if you saying there can be things that we both need to work on, we both need to address it, and we both need to handle each other different, that makes you a mammy. It makes being in a Black woman empowerment space, like, that's nuts. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm not gonna get on the internet and be like, Black men are trash and they're evil, and I'm not doing that. That's not my life. Are there Black men that do things? Yes. But in mass, if every dude you know is bad, I gotta start looking at you. And then when I start looking at you, you may not want that self-assessment. So now I'm the op. And you got a lot of people that just will not look at themselves. I'm not going to say what it is about men. I'm not a man. What I will say is this. The thing that Fantastic said, that was my breaking point. Like, I don't care how mad you are. I'm not signing up with no eugenics program.
Yeah.
That's not like, I'm never that mad. Like, we can't be on the same team. Because now you're talking about my father, my son, my brothers. the people that I love in my life. Like, no, this is how did we get here? And if you can't give me, go ahead.
Yeah. So again, I think the how we get here is from the start of like being saying that bickering back and forth. Right. So the reason, while not justified or even morally comprehensible, is still something that came out due to consistent attack and no mutual, hey, let's just have a conversation. Because at this point, I don't know if there is any conversation to be had, because black men are going to tell black women, y'all need to do better, and guess what black women are going to say in return. And then what we're going to do is look for whatever stat we can to say, guess why they got to do better.
Right.
This why. So the thing that bothers me is whenever we try to have these conversations, I just don't see a level of consistency for actual facts and solutions, right? So for example, it's hard for me to hear from 2K, who says we would literally, if they got rid of black men or did that, then that means that you're causing a black male extinction, but he's got black children or he's got mixed children, which we would not say don't qualify as black. So even within his own personal life, he won't say he's participating in some level of black male extermination or black woman extermination, because he's got mixed kids, and mixed kids, if they dark enough, is going to be considered black. So the same thing can be said to the solution that what's her face gave, which is if we get rid of all the black men, right? Since black men are the problem and black men from single parent households are the problem, just have our black daughters marry people who aren't as problematic, and then let them spread their genetics just like black people or people in general do. And eventually black men will exist again, because there's no way you can get rid of black. Every race of men don't agree with this ideology, but it's gotten so far to where we heard this some while ago. And to be fair, I have not heard nothing as extreme as that from black men. I've heard some extreme shit, right? That was crazy. That I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, yo, wow. I've heard a lot of crazy shit from black men. I'm not gonna lie. There's no need to even lie about it. But never that.
But Cheeky, you know what I really think? If I'm being honest, to your point, I don't want to be disingenuous, because I'm not gonna gaslight the ladies, because I don't like being gaslit. So when they talk about how, vulgar some of these guys can be on panels in the way that they kind of like devour women's positions. I said devour, I meant to say devalue women's positions in relationships, and they really don't like that. I can understand why they wouldn't like it. I could get why they don't like it, right? But the thing is this, truth be told, when it comes to communicating, I think, and this is just me being honest, Tiff, I think one of the biggest issues is that we don't actually get to not be gaslit. Y'all hate to be gaslit, and trust me, as a person who gets triggered by being gaslit, I feel y'all on being gaslit. But y'all women, and when I say y'all, I mean you, Tiff, but women in general will gaslight the shit out of us. For an example, I was on another panel. The question was posed to the sister that I was on the panel with: do you think that in relationships, women typically will apologize? And the premise of the apology was, we having a little argument for 5 or 10 minutes, and you just realize that you're wrong, and you just apologize, and you're sorry, and move on. You got to take days, weeks. Somebody else got to tell you wrong. You got to get it in your horoscope. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that. Just immediately within 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the conversation, you just realize you're the one in error, right? And the sister that was on the panel just couldn't bring herself to say, "No, I don't think we apologize." Right? Now, here's what she said. She said, I think a lot of women apologize. But also, I think a lot of men apologize too. I think it's some women that don't apologize. But also, I think it's some, you see how that's not shit? We're not getting nowhere with that, right? So she can't just, and this is what I mean. So she said, I'm not being disingenuous, Tip. I said, you are. No, you think I'm being disingenuous because I'm not agreeing with you? I said, no, you're being disingenuous because you're not listening to the men. Y'all want us to listen to you when you talk. You want us to understand where you're coming from, understand what it is you mean, understand your plight, understand this and that. But when we talking, you like just throwing it out the window. It don't matter. No, that ain't true. Nah, it ain't. That don't
Because
apply to all of them, so it don't count.
So-
it's like no.
Because if
you're
men talk,
listening
they
to the
crying.
Men, you gotta at this point, we can legitimately say millions of men are in agreement on social media that y'all don't apologize. This is the example now laying here, Tiffany, that I gave her. And you can tell me what you think, Tiff. This was the example I said. I said, go find me a video right now, one video of women sitting around having a conversation about men not liking to apologize. And for every one you find, I'm gonna find 50 of men having that same conversation. I'm gonna go find 1,000 stand-ups from 1950 into 2026 where the comedians is talking about women not wanting to apologize or take accountability. At this point, how many men have to say something before our women will just say, okay, we realize this is a problem. Maybe we need to do something about this. We don't get that.
So,
And
you know
being,
what I'm
I think
saying?
that-
Mic
I
check,
think
mic
that's-
check, mic check. Hey, so I have to revisit this conversation. I think I need to reset it again. Because I'm really trying to figure out if these movements, like the ones like the Crip movement as an example, from the origin to what it is now, have been villainized, right? Have been co-opted by people with poor agendas, have been propagated to be looked at a certain way, or more of the Adrian Broner archetype of I'm a villain, I'm acting like this, it is what it is, and now when I fall, nobody gives a fuck about me because of how I conducted myself. So I'm really trying to understand, huh?
It's all the above.
Okay, maybe so. I just don't know. Yeah. Maybe that's the end. I just don't think we're at the end yet. Like if I make a conclusion now, I would think I rushed it. So
no, it's all the above.
I'm gonna open this panel back up tomorrow morning to see if we can get see if I can come to a set conclusion, even if you guys have already. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the vice lords were definitely villainized. I just want to step up to the plate for us to say we are not the villains that y'all try to make us out to be. Shout out to all my Finn brothers. You know what I'm saying? For you, my brother.
Vice lords.
Let me read these super chats real quick. We get some quick, succinct final thoughts, and then we'll revisit this as a part 2 because that shit is like when they start introducing the salacious shit. I'm like, it's really all that's encompassing the main message is. Damn. Vet Life with the 10 says, let's be honest. And Fantastic knows this because they did it to him. Once it was co-opted, any man who got along with the women, some of the guys had an issue with it. And yes, Fantastic got along with the women. See, that's problematic. Sherelle with the $5 says, proud of you, Beans. Salute, salute, salute.
Love, Sherelle, love.
Indeed. Aaron with the $2 says, black men and black women are becoming the new Crips and Bloods. Columbia Sha'ala with the $5 says, that's a fact. I'm only concerned about my people. Aaron with the $2 says, it's going to take a war to get off this merry-go-round. All right. My Ak with the $10 says, great conversation, family. Shalom, Ak. Salute, salute. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well, man. Miss you in the Discord a little bit. For me, MC Heavy Tits with the 20 ball. I turned my soundboard off. Says, they can't stand the question of who hurt you, but they will tell women that chose the wrong dude, but that's the man you wanted. Then it's contradictory. Vet Life with the 10 says, good question, Hamp. And that's the difference between the two. They wanted an echo chamber. We did not. Everyone was welcome to disagree. You just had to substantiate your points. Okay. Prax with the, Cali with the $5 says, Prax, Trump nor Reagan was talking about no dang colored people saying MAGA.
Yes. Oh my God.
Kakashi with the $5 says, to back up what Hamp said, it's about what most people in the culture agree is the best use of the word. For the most people, how much to kick the boomer. Son Kid, Shalom. Good to see you. Good to see you. Did I read this one? Yes, I did. Okay. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend, man. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most, man. I appreciate y'all. Then we got to mind through that. I got some more questions I actually need to ask to interrupt the dialogue just a little bit. Tiff, any final thoughts?
No, it was a pleasure. Always, big little bro. Good to see you, gentlemen. Nice stream, y'all.
Indeed. Prax, what up?
What's happening, man? I love all of you guys, man. Everybody need to be graceful to each other and just appreciate that you're here and the experience that you're having, and everything's going to be fine.
Indeed. Ma is gone once again. Devin, what you think?
Yeah, no, I think most of the things we came to conclude was I think foundation to every movement matters, and that's what I think we're mining out, and I think that's what needs to be mined out with, like with the Crips or Broner or whatnot. And I think even Callie even proved it when she came and retorted with, "There's a reason why we said kill black babies." Like it was like a dismissal of taking accountability, and I think that's the difference between the black men and the black women movement. So I think that's how we go forward with this conversation, kind of.
Okay. Beans.
First of all, Mike, get rid of that racist ass chair. But salute,
checkmate.
but salute to the panel, salute to the chat. It was good seeing you. Just so y'all know, a couple of weeks ago, I called Hamp. He didn't never call me back or text me back, so he is not perfect. And if anybody wants to resent him for that, you have my blessing.
You're right, man. It was at 10:23 p.m.
That's a fact. That's early enough. I ain't trying to hear it.
And I was looking. I see.
That's early enough.
I ain't gonna lie, Beans. I did some selfish shit, man. When you called at 10:23 on a Wednesday. No, it was on the third. It was on the Thursday. On the Thursday, because I wasn't streaming. I elected to have sex instead.
This nigga ain't shit.
So I do apologize. It was 10:23. Word is born. Yo, word is born on everything I love. Yo, real shit, me. Yo,
I need it. He don't know if I needed thoughts or prayer.
Yo, real shit. Yo, Bean name came to at 10:23. I'm doing the double take. I'm like, beans or the cheeks. So that's a crazy dilemma. Word is born. Damn, man, I love you though. That's for goddamn sure. This is fantastic. Real shit, bro.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, bro, some shit is just indefensible, and it's unfortunate, but it's very well needed to prove the point that a lot of time needs to be made, man. One side, regardless of how harsh and things it may seem at times, is actually trying to find a solution, because we understand ultimately, without the black man and black woman together, there is no black community. The other side is doing nothing, but there is no togetherness in BWE content, right? There are plenty of black men out here on this side that talk about shout out to Trigger Mike, or whatnot, families and marriage and stuff, but there are brothers that don't, right? Either way. But when one side is constantly trying to kill everybody within their own team, bro, they want to kill the niggas, they want to kill the babies. Where's the good in that, man? Where's the good in that? But that's all I got, man. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, man, I definitely got to do this part too. Good gracious, nigga. Don't skip AAU practice tomorrow morning. It's fantastic. Man. Mr. Williams, what's popping?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Good afternoon, man. It was a good show, man. I wish I could be a part of the part two, man. It was a lot of good points made.
I'm gonna spark it up tomorrow, man. I don't have to do too much in the morning, so gotta go to DC.
Really dope, man. I'm just getting ready for Derby weekend now.
Yes, the second.
Word. Yeah, man. Hopefully them horses. What do you got? Y'all dress up in like what the fuck y'all wear? What's this shit called? Paisley or whatever it is?
No, hell no. You go short as you can. What are you talking about?
Seersucker. There you go. Cheek, what you think, man?
Yeah, I think that everyone's biased, of course, for their own side. That's going to make sense. I think that it's fair for black women to want black men. And I think it's fair for the women to say, I don't want to be in a relationship, unless these stipulations are made. Like, I think that just makes sense, right? Nobody should be forced to be in a situation for quote unquote survival but aren't well represented or well, respected. That just makes sense to me. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship like that. So it just makes sense. These conversations make sense. We need to have them more honestly.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, man, I think I appreciate y'all helping me walk down this premise. I'm really trying to understand, is it the organization or is it the people assessing the organization, And I think Beans is probably the most right based on what I've heard so far and based on what I presented. It's all of it. It's like a perfect equation of perfect gumbo to get people to see a thing negatively, I think 2K made a great point in adding to that in the sense of, people want you, they're going to try to come get you. They'll make something out of nothing, that's for sure. So it's definitely an interesting convo, man. And it's just disheartening to see that both of those movements, depending on who you talk to, probably 50 or 60% of the time, people have something negative to say about it. BWE, negative. Manosphere, negative. Black Panthers, negative. Crips and Bloods, negative. Hebrew Israelites, negative. Nation of Islam, negative. Christianity, negative. It's like every fucking thing, bro. NBA, negative, as it should be, because it's boring as fuck and them niggas is soft as shit.
Wow.
NFL, negative.
Yeah.
So
Cut it out.
Hey, man. Crazy. Hey, Prax, man, I appreciate you, man. And like I said,
love
I love you for sure. And I want to make sure that they heard me. I wasn't trying to, like, you and Mont, that was substantive. I just, I was rushing today. So if at any point, no. You longer winded than Beans. Hell no.
Verbal jousting right now, man. I got to clear my heart with this.
Go ahead, because I got to go.
When you said something about being facetious, what does facetious mean?
Oh gosh, here we go.
No, I'm just asking a question. I want to be clear.
Y'all be safe.
Yeah, no, you know what?
Because I wasn't trying to denigrate the conversation. I'm taking facetious as a pejorative.
Yeah, no, you're actually correct, right? You're actually not facetious. Yeah, so that was the wrong label or the wrong claim, or even to insinuate that was unfair to you. So I apologize, because you're really not facetious at all.
Oh, maybe I was thinking of it wrong. Okay.
Yeah, you're not facetious at all, actually. Right? That was the first word that came to the head. So, yeah, no, 100%.
Checkmate.
Hamp, today, you know what you're going to do today for us, Hamp? You know what you're going to do for me today to apologize to me?
What's that?
You're going to pray for my team, man. Shout out to my man, Paulo Banchero. That's my favorite player in the league. They got a chance to be the 7th, 8th seed to be the 1 seed, man. So y'all send prayers up to whoever y'all believe in, and they pull that out tonight.
Is he white?
No.
What is he?
He black.
Paulo Banchero. What'd you say?
Paulo Banchero, man.
What kind of nigga is he?
The light skinned kind, nigga. What you want me to say?
That's crazy.
I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man.
One.
Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.
Oh, we can kill all this. We can kill all this. Say do you want to be next?
Anytime you ready, baby. I was supposed to be there.
Cool. I'm with it. I'm with it. We can do it.
Knocks out everybody and no one can whoop him. That's when that little